Copy. Sounds good. And a pleasant good evening, everyone, and welcome to Roncalli Royals football here on the Roncalli Media Network. Rob Brown and Dan Bauer, Matt Donovan with you tonight, back at Roncalli Stadium. Royals at home for the first time in 3 weeks, and it's senior night, the final game of the regular season for these two programs before the 47th annual IHSA State Football Tournament begins next week. Both of these teams ranked in the top 5 in Class 4A with designs on a state title. And Dan, let's jump right to it. Roncalli coming into this one after a huge, and you cannot underline the word huge enough, road win at Cincinnati Elder at the Pit last Friday night, 35-21.
I tell you what, a lot of people went into the game last week, because Elder had a 3-4 record, and it's kind of like, oh, I don't know if they're going to as good as they normally are. That team really gave Roncalli a test. They did a great job, especially up front. They showed a lot of blitz packages and twists and stuff up front that really challenged the offensive line. Roncalli adjusted and obviously had some nice runs to finish off that game and just stayed far enough ahead that Roncalli got the victory. But I was talking to somebody on the way up here, and again, that game was much closer. And if you take away a 7-point gift at the front with a high snap that gives Roncalli the ball at the 24 for their first touchdown, you take those 7 because all game long Elder kind of kept scoring again, getting within 7. So they're within striking distance. Well, you take that 7 points away, they're now tying the game, and it's a totally what a great atmosphere also down in Cincinnati. That stadium is really cool. So I'm sure it was fun for the kids to play there, and a huge victory for Roncalli heading into the playoffs as we look into that next week.
Well, you look at Roncalli's lead-in to the state tournament, which begins for Roncalli next week at Western up in Howard County. We'll talk about that more in the post-game show. But John Rodenberg, the head coach for this Royals team, cannot ask for a better scenario than to go on the road, be tested by one of the best teams in Southwest Ohio, and win the game, and then come back and play one of the top 5 teams in his class, East Central ranked number 4, to close out the regular season.
Well, it's interesting because Elder was pass happy. They love to throw the ball, and I think they finished with 16 yards total rushing. And most of their scores were rushing touchdowns because they'd get down close to the end zone and then run it in, but 1-yard type runs. But Roncalli really was tested in the passing game. Tonight, East Central is a balanced team that likes and prefers to run the ball. So Roncalli is going to be really tested on the running game more than they were last week. Next week, not to give too much away, but Western loves to run the ball. So it's almost a complete pendulum going from pass happy to the middle to all run happy. And so this is a great in-between game to test the running game and to kind of take a step from where they were last week stopping the passing game to stop the running game so that they can be prepared to stop the running game next week.
One of the many reasons I'm glad you're alongside me, you've done the Western homework and can sound educated in a post-game show. So
okay.
we'll lean
Count
back
me
on
in.
We'll lean back on that at the end of the night tonight. This East Central team comes in 7-1. The only loss for this Trojan team was a 39-22 loss to Moeller from Cincinnati earlier in the season. And a lot of fans here on the south side have kind of done the transitive property that, okay, Elder beat Moeller by a score in overtime. Moeller beat East Central. Therefore, and you try and kind of pick a score accordingly, it's not that easy.
It's not that easy. And Moeller's 6-2, so they play a very tough schedule. I think that'd be a game if you went back, and I watched a little bit of the Moeller-Elder game. If you watch that, I think Elder did a good job of kind of forcing Moeller into what they wanted to do because of the high scoring. And so I think if they played that a game again, it probably wouldn't have the same outcome. I would guess Moeller would go in with a different strategy, try to keep that game lower scoring and to give them a little bit better advantage. So, yes, the transit properties don't quite work out in that, although at the same time a fan can look and say that it does. So it gives great conversation.
Well, I know you and Jimmy Cook, who had the call last week down in Cincinnati, you guys did not get a chance to talk to Coach Rodenberg after the game, but he has gone on record in the last couple of weeks that if all things were equal, he would prefer an almost even split between rushing yards and passing yards, pretty close to that last week,
right,
with 170-ish pass yards and 150 rush yards.
Yes, and obviously the reason you want it to be equal, and I always talk about the cat and mouse game where you try to get an advantage and then you try to go the opposite direction and take advantage when they try to stop that advantage that you gain. And Roncalli has the ability to run the ball, really run the clock, make people come up, put 8 people or 9 people in the box to stop your running game, and then throw the ball. Because when a defense, when you only have 11 players, you have to make choices. Do we put more people in the box to stop the run? Do we put more people in pass coverage to stop the pass? And then it's somewhere in between usually. And for Roncalli to play where you're equal, you're constantly keeping that defense guessing as to what you're going to do next. And if they can't figure out an advantage, or either that you have they can take away, or that they have, then you're in the driver's seat. So the more you can keep that equal, and it makes it, you see it happen a lot of times. Elder was a very good football team. If they could run the ball, they'd be a great football team. When you become one-sided, it becomes a little bit easier to stop it, and it puts you at odds as to whether you're going to win that game or not.
Well, before we completely put last week's 35-21 win on Elder to rest, a win, by the way, which is Roncalli's 20th straight victory. That's now 2 away from the all-time program record. Longest winning streak in program history was 22 wins. That was set 2016-2017. The 16 team went undefeated 15-0 en route to a state title. Then the following season, they won the first 7 games before losing a wild game at Decatur Central in Week 8. So before we put the Elder game to bed and look ahead to this matchup tonight with East Central, let's go back to the highlights from last week in that win at Elder.
Leffler has Hansen behind him, takes the snap, play action, quick
open.
slant, it's caught by Lockhart, he's off to the races, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Royals, no flags on the field. A quick strike from Leffler to Lockhart on the slant, and the Royals lead at 13-0.
And they do it with a defensive stop, first and foremost.
3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left, 3rd and 14 after the penalty yardage from the Royals 45. Leffler in the gun, Hansen right next to him. Takes the snap, fires a quick shot to the left sideline, caught by Lockhart. He's got space to the 45, 30, 35, 20, 10, 5, no flags. Touchdown Royals. A quick shot to the left sideline. Lockhart made a man miss. It was a house call after that. 27 Roncalli. Hamilton drops back to pass. Pressure coming, but a 5-step drop, fires over the middle. It's nearly picked off.
Did he get it?
It is picked off. It is picked off. Picked off and intercepted by Tyson Garrett.
That was
he picked it off at 25, stayed with it the whole time.
He tapped it up and it came down and he dove off and caught it as it was hitting the turf, but it did look like he had his hands under it and he rolled it up. He stood up immediately and knew it was an interception. Both officials marked it as such, so wow, what an athletic play.
They confer and it is an INT. 2nd and 5 from the 8, 2 wide receivers to the left. In the backfield there is Hansen with Leffler. 1:45 to go. Royals by 7. Leffler takes the snap. He'll keep it himself. Has a block. He'll walk into the end zone untouched.
High step in it.
Aiden Leffler, as Dan mentioned, with the high step to boot. And that'll about put this one in the cooler. But the important press release for Roncalli tonight. They stay perfect and defeat the Panthers on the road here at Elder, 35-21.
That's the highlights from last week's win at Elder, 35-21. It's a nice call by you and Jimmy last Friday night. Hope you enjoyed that recap. We're going to take our first break here on the Lauk and Velda Funeral Services pregame show. When we come back, we'll have more from the stadium. We'll take a look at some other games around the area that we're keeping an eye on. Certainly the game that the state has its eye on tonight is Cathedral taking on Center Grove, the top two teams in 5A and 6A respectively. That game being played up at Arlington. We'll talk about that and talk more about this matchup with East Central. All of that after this 2-minute pause. You're listening to Roncalli Football on the Roncalli Media Network.
High school football fans, welcome back to Friday night, to pure spirits, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school football.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back!
This is Friday night. This is Indiana high school football. This is your IHSAA. This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA. High school sports fans, welcome back to Game Time, to pure spirits, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back!
This is Game Time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
Every day, we go farther, try harder, and do things others think are impossible. But for people who are passionate about what they do, it's normal. At Ortho Indy, we make sure of it. As the largest sports medicine group in Indiana and the official orthopedic provider for the Pacers, our specialists work to treat your injury from diagnosis to recovery and get you back in the game, because you were built to perform. Ortho Indy Sports Medicine, helping you get normal back, whatever your normal looks like.
Dan Bauer back with you at the stadium. Roncalli Royals 8-0, ranked number 1 all season long here in Class 4A, taking on number 4 East Central Trojans 7-1, making the trip up from southeastern Indiana. And by all accounts, no issues for them getting up here tonight. Interstate travel has been a little bit of an adventure around here lately, so we are glad that East Central got here cleanly. We are going to have the anthem and the pregame prayer, so we're going to go ahead and jump out and take another break. So we're out during this time of quiet, and we'll step out for 2 minutes and come back with more from the stadium. Coming up next, you're listening to Roncalli Football on the Roncalli Media Network.
We're so thrilled to have Peyton Manning's name on our children's hospital, but we are a hospital designed for kids.
And then the halfback went in motion and then ran a slant route across the middle. Trying to get a linebacker isolated on him. I like this beat. It's nice. Give me some more bass. A little more bass here. These are nice. Wish they had them at the adult hospital next door. They have to make this giraffe green.
That's crazy.
Might be right. Let's go red right, scat right, 585, wide drag, on two. Ready? Break. Nice ride. Do y'all have these in blue? Can you hear this?
There's only one Peyton Manning Children's Hospital, offering world-class compassionate care for your child. Schedule primary, ER, or specialist care online.
Thanks, Peyton. We've got this.
Oh, okay. That's where they go.
round of hugs before final 15 minutes or so of pregame preparations get going for this one. Some other games we're keeping an eye on tonight. We mentioned that Center Grove Cathedral game. We're running about a half an hour behind everyone else, so we'll have some scores as we roll through.
I can't believe they're still playing at Arlington. I remember some games against Cathedral at Arlington that you're like, this stadium is ready to fall down.
We put some money into it. The parents,
they?
the Cathedral parents have put some money into it. They've had some donors that have put some money into it.
All right, good.
In Franklin, Guerin Catholic closing out its regular season up at Culver Academy. Martinsville's at Plainfield. Mooresville 6-2. They're a team to watch in Class 4A. They're at Perry Meridian tonight. Ben Davis beat North Central earlier today. That was a 3 o'clock start. We'll get a final for you on that. I know Ben Davis won that contest. Brebeuf Jesuit 6-2 and ranked 5th in 3A. They're hosting 3-5 Terre Haute North. Columbus North hosting Terre Haute South. Columbus North clinched Conference Indiana last week. Westfield ranked number 2 in 6A, 7-1. They're at 4-4 Franklin Central. And Mount Vernon, 7-1 and ranked 5th in 4A. They are closing out the regular season against 5-3 Yorktown. The Marauders have clinched a tie for their conference championship, the Hoosier Heritage Conference. New Pal would need a win and a Mount Vernon loss to force a tie. Delta is also in that mix too, but Mount Vernon with the win would clinch the outright championship tonight at Yorktown.
And Mount Vernon's in sectional 21, which is a team that Roncalli would match up to if both teams win sectionals.
Yes.
And they would play at the regional round.
Yes, the winner of Roncalli sectional will play the winner of the Mount Vernon sectional, and I label them as such because those are the two favorites in those sectionals.
Yep, exactly.
But unlike Roncalli, Mount Vernon does not have a second team like Chittard that Roncalli is going to have to get through to win a sectional title. Mount Vernon, most of the schools in that sectional are conference schools that they've already run through with some ease.
Although Greenfield Central just beat Delta, which I don't think they've beat Delta many times in the history of ever.
Greenfield Central struggled. They've had a pretty good year, and they're the only team in that league that has played Mount Vernon to within 3 scores.
Right. That's a team you'd have to keep an eye out for if you're Mount Vernon, because they could come back, even though they've got the victory. That could come back and surprise you with a little revenge factor.
We turn our attention to East Central. Roncalli and East Central, this has been an unbelievably entertaining rivalry. Roncalli leads the all-time series 9-4. Roncalli has won. They played 13 times, but have only played 4 games here at Roncalli.
I was going to say, when you were talking about worried about them driving here for the game, I was like, that is not an equal. We drive there way more than they drive here. So.
And all 4 postseason matchups, which Roncalli has won 3 of those 4 over the years, have been at East Central.
Right.
So East Central making its first trip here to the stadium since mid-October of 2015. Roncalli won that game 31-10. And East Central at the time was ranked 6th in the state. Now, a month later, East Central avenged that loss with a 21-0 win over Roncalli at East Central in the semi-state. They went on to the 4A state championship game, which they lost to Dwinger that year.
Yes.
But East Central making its second straight trip to Central Indiana. They came up here last week and played Guerin.
They did.
And beat Guerin 41-7.
I passed their trucks, actually, on my way to Cincinnati. They were
coming up,
yeah. That's not a lie.
Yeah. So Roncalli looking to close out the season, the regular season anyway, with a win. Roncalli, in 53 years of football, have had just 5 undefeated regular seasons. 1993, 1995, those were 8-0 seasons back when it was an 8-game regular season. 98, 99, and 2016 were 9-0 regular seasons. So this would be undefeated regular season number 6 for Roncalli if they were able to get a win tonight over East Central. But with all that as a backdrop, Dan, what do you have on your mind for keys to the game tonight?
Well, and I'll tell you what, when you look at East Central, of the 13 games that they've played, 4 of them have gone into overtime or double overtime. You also had a game winner at the buzzer as it went off, hitting a field goal to win that game. So, and you look at the scores, many years this is a one-possession ball game. And a lot of times it comes down to not many possessions in the second half. So if you fall behind by more than 1 score, you're not going to have a chance to come back because both teams can run it and run clock to where you don't have enough possessions to win the football game. And so when you go into that and you look at that history, I think you have to take that into mind as you put together your game plan. And Roncalli defensively, you're going against a team. You're coming off a team that was very pass heavy. Now you're going to go against a team that's very balanced. So, it puts the challenge on the running game. Stop the running game first and foremost. That's their preference. So Roncalli really needs to kind of change their game plan from last week. So it's a big, mentality shift to put enough guys in the box, but yet not let passes over the top, because this team can do it to you both ways. So when you put enough guys in the box, you got to make sure you tackle. And put just enough guys there that you can still defend the pass. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. But the big part of that is no big plays, mainly through the air, because if you're really concentrating on the run and stopping that, you shouldn't have big running plays, but don't let the pass go over the top of it. Now, offensively, Roncalli, still, same thing. They've got the biggest line in the state. They need to establish the line of scrimmage. They kind of struggled against Elder because of what Elder did defensively. It'll be interesting to see if East Central picks up on that and does anything similar to what Elder did to try to stop that. So I'll keep an eye on that during the game and see what happens there. But it's going to be most likely a low possession ball game, which means you have to make your long drives count. You got to eat clock, and you got to score at the end of those drives. You can't get to the end zone and then fumble it, or have a turnover, or just
settle
not
for a field
score,
goal.
or settle for a field goal. Yes, exactly. So all of that really plays into it, that you've got to score early to try to keep the other team in the panic, from hitting the panic button, and make sure it's not you doing the same thing. And what's in overall, on all elements of the game, you're going against a big physical team. These guys are always big up front. They've got strong running backs. They grew up on the cornfields. I hate to say that, stereotype, but they did. And they just play with a toughness that you don't find on all teams. And so this game will be physical, and you got to match that physicalness, which Roncalli can do, and Roncalli plays that way. So it's not, something that's going to be totally different. But from a special team standpoint, you got to win the field possession. When you have low possession game, getting the ball in short yardage is much better than long yardage. So winning the field possession, I think, is key to tonight's game, and then making sure you score when you have the opportunity.
I want to follow up on one point you made. You mentioned to me midweek in your review of the film that you felt like Elder picked up on something from a defensive line standpoint to give Roncalli's offensive line trouble.
They did.
But there's two parts to that. There's picking it up, but you also have to have the personnel then to be able to exploit it. That's the question. Does East Central have the personnel to exploit it?
It's excellent points. And it also, you have to have time to teach it if you haven't taught it.
Yes.
And so, some of that's not possible. Sometimes you just got to line up with what you got, either personnel-wise or ability-wise, and just run and hope it's enough. But if you watch it, it does give you a little playbook, so to speak, of, hey, if we can get our defensive line to do this, then it negates some of the size advantage that Roncalli has, because Elder's defensive line, their biggest kid was 240, and he was about 5'10". At least that's what he was listed. I think he was shorter than that. And then everybody else was in the 200 range. It was very small, but they did great spacing. They were twisting, and did a lot of line stunts without involving their linebackers. That the three guys down front really kind of captured the five guys of Roncalli and equated to a point where they didn't lose because of the size differential.
Right.
So it was really a thing of beauty. And I meant to call or at least send a text to them and say that was the best defensive line coach team that I've seen play, because it was very impressive. And I'll do that this week, because I've never done that before. It's not something I normally do, but I was so impressed with the way Elder played on their defensive line, just their defensive line. Now, they still lost the game, but it was really – because we have praised Roncalli's line so much this year, and they deserve every bit of it. But to see a team that has figured out, something that might cause a problem, it makes you kind of at least raise your eyebrows. And my guess is they probably had a tough week of practice this week.
I'm guessing
and
they
worked
did.
on some of that stuff. So if they do face it again, they don't have that problem again.
I'm guessing they did. We'll go take our final break here on the Lauck and Velda Funeral Services pregame show. When we come back, we'll take you right up to the bottom of the hour and kick off Roncalli 8-0, ranked number 1 all season long in Class 4A, closing out the regular season with 7-1 in 4th-ranked East Central. We'll step out for a couple minutes, come back. We have it next, right here on the Roncalli Media Network. Copy.
You're good at keeping the car clean. get your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
Do life, not laundry. Milto Cleaners.
And Roncalli football is on the air. Week 9, final week of the regular season across the state of Indiana. So happy you're with us tonight alongside Dan Bauer, our statistician Matt Donovan, our in-studio producer Stephen Ranazizzi. I'm Rob Brown. Happy to have you with us on this Friday night on the South Side. Steve Wilson is on assignment. Will be back with us next week when we're up in Howard County at Roncalli at Western for the opening of the 2021 playoffs. The Royals taking the field, making their customary entrance out of the woods at the east end of the stadium. And I'll mention to my partner Dan Bauer, who played more than a few games on this field back when it was a dirt field.
Exactly.
This is home game number 300 in the history of this stadium tonight.
Is it really?
Yes, Roncalli all-time, 219 and 81 all-time. 219 and 80, excuse me, 219 and 80 all-time here at the stadium.
To be fair, I don't think it was a completely dirt stadium. I think the yellow line around the Royal
just
signal
between the hashes, right?
That was all completely dirt, and then yes, in between the hashes, pretty much.
Especially
most of the
come
way
playoff
down.
times, it was all dirt
it
between
was
the
nothing.
hashes.
Yes, for sure.
That grass was long gone.
Yep, for sure.
Been turf here at the stadium since 2005. This is the second artificial surface, as the original one was replaced in the summer of 2018. Roncalli's clad in the royal blue home uniform tops, white numerals, white lettering, white pants, gray helmets with the red and royal blue cross R logo. Meanwhile, East Central in the traveling white tops with the black numerals and lettering, red and white striping down the sides of the pants, the black helmets with the red EC logo and the red stripe down the middle. Keeping an eye on our weather tonight, 66 degrees our game time temperature, light wind out of the west. But expect that to pick up as the front gets closer. We'll be in the low 50s by the time this game ends. But the question is, will we get it in or will we have some sort of delay? We'll keep our fingers crossed. Always a little bit more reassuring when you have weather concerns, Dan, when we have a certified meteorologist alongside and Matt Donovan.
That helps.
To keep an eye on things. Always comforts you. Brian Fedge's our referee tonight. He's out at midfield. Ceremonial coin toss. Roncalli has won the toss and opted to take the ball. Is that
what he said? Wow.
It's rare that Roncalli wins the toss and elects to receive.
Yeah.
Usually it's a automatic defer, but the Royals opting to take the ball to start. And that will.
Now the one thing that if you look, we talked about in my keys being low possession game. If the only common sense that makes there is if you pick up an extra possession by getting the ball first, trying to get ahead, that might make sense to not worry about getting the ball at the first and the second half, where you might, depending on how they play out, get more possessions, basically more possession.
We saw that play out. Roncalli winning this matchup last year at East Central 34-27. The Royals scored with about 1:20 to go, capping a long drive with an Aiden Leffler run. And then East Central, because they were put in a position where they had to throw the ball, they couldn't do it.
Correct.
They were not a team that was equipped to throw last year, and the drive stalled out. So East Central kicks it off to start the game. Sophie Browndyke is the kicker. She is a quality kicker. This is her third year as a starter, the senior.
Yep.
She's 41 of 43 in PATs. Her father, David, is on the coaching staff, and he was the punter at LSU back in the 80s.
Oh, was he really?
Yes, he was.
How about
yes,
that?
he was. He's on this East Central coaching staff. So Sophie Browndyke, ponytail hanging down between the 4 and 8 on the back of her jersey. Getting limbered up and ready to go.
Now, as I recall, I don't remember her kicking off last year. I remember her doing extra points.
She did not. Yes, she did not. Luke Hansen and Ben Brandenburg are deep. Browndyke hits a low line drive that Hansen pulls on a hop at the 8. Short side, still looking for room,
nice.
still on his feet, stumbles out near the 35. Good return by Luke Hansen. And the Royals begin there. See where they've put the spot down. Aiden Leffler, the senior. Hard to believe, Aiden Leffler, a senior quarterback. He's been the starter since his freshman year. This is his 43rd start. 32-10 is his record as a starter, the 6'3", 211-pounder. Hard to believe. Aiden Leffler, a senior on senior night. He's under center. Takes the snap, shotgun, looking down the side, has Kyle Lockhart, has space, and Lockhart with an over-the-shoulder catch. Did he stay in bound? Yes, he did.
Wow.
Oh, a rainbow down the side, and Lockhart's got it at the 35-yard line.
Rob, just looking at the offensive line, Justin Lewis got the start at right guard. Good to have him back in the lineup.
Yep, and that moves Scartweet back out to right tackle. So Lewis hurt earlier in the season, the Franklin Central game, as a matter of fact, so he's missed the last 6 games. So Lewis back in his normal right guard spot where he was to start the season, 1st and 10. They give to Hansen, picking his spot around right end, dragging tacklers down near the 27.
Patient run, nice job just kind of taking the ball and then not hurrying it, just letting those blocks set up in front of him to the right side, and then just slowly kind of letting them push the momentum forward so that he can pick up those yards. Great
Adam
first down
Rosemeyer
pickup.
on the stop. 2nd down and 3, pickup of 7. We left their wait a long time, gives to Hansen around in, and he charges up the sideline. He's got a 1st down. Boy, that ball was held by Leffler in Hansen's stomach for about 3 steps. They ran together, and then Leffler pulled it back.
And you could watch that defense. They were flowing that way with that mesh point staying there so long, and that threat of Leffler keeping the ball and coming inside. The defense stopped and came back, let the ball go, and then now that outside was open and allowed Hansen to get outside to get the 1st down.
Hansen stepped out at the 23. 1st and 10, Royals driving in East Central territory early. We're still less than a minute in. Leffler looking right side, has Lockhart toward the end zone. Leaping catch near the sideline. Did he stay in? No, he did not. He caught it, but it couldn't keep it in. Keep a foot down inside the 3. 2nd down and 10.
Well, and he had great coverage against him, too. He just did a great job of going up, and we talk about high pointing the ball. He went up over the defender there to bring it in, but he was getting pushed out. Did a great job by the defender to kind of push him out of bounds, and you can do that, as long as he catches the ball so that foot just landed just outside of the mark.
Leffler rolling right, throws over the middle. It's picked off.
Oh, boy.
He threw it right to the defender, and it's picked off. Picked off by East Central's number 43. Connor Kuhn hit him right in the stomach. So Aiden Leffler, just his 4th interception of the season in 163 pass attempts.
He had Caden Gord about 3 yards behind him, but Caden was on the ground at the end of that play. I don't know if he fell, but I don't think the ball would even got to him. So I'm not sure what happened to where that ball was thrown so short and right to the defender.
So the Royals driving, and the drive stalls at the East Central 21 via the Trojans interception. So Roncalli had the ball just 56 seconds. Now it's East Central's turn. The sophomore quarterback, Cole Burton, number 7. Under center, in shotgun rather, 5'11", 184-pounder. And he gives to the running back around right end, and he charges up the middle. That's Ryan Brotherton, number 20, 6'4", 180-pound sophomore. Nolan Tunney on the stop. Brotherton, number 10, picked up 8 there, 2nd and 2. Second down and 2 at the Roncalli 29. Early turnover by the Royals, rare turnover, as the Royals came into tonight's game with a plus 14 differential.
Nice tackle.
Another run, trying the left side this time, Brotherton, and he's tackled short of the line to gain, setting up 3rd down and 1, pickup of 1.
Tyson Garrett did a great job. It looked like a delayed stunt where he just came right, or saw the pole, came right through and made a real athletic tackle to bring him down, to keep him short from getting that 1st down.
3rd down and 1 for the Trojans at the Trojan 30. 2 minutes into the first quarter. Scoreless game. Royals turn it over on their first possession.
Andrew Ball is also playing. He started today.
Pass in the flat. It's caught by Eli Ashton. He accelerates across the 35. He's got a 1st down. Tackled out there by Michael Hegwood. Out across the 35, but that's enough for a 1st down. That's number 1. Number 1, Eli Ashton on the catch. Ashton, their leading receiver, with 27 catches coming into tonight. 5'11", 160-pound junior. 1st and 10.
They flooded that zone to the side. They had 2 receivers out there, threw to the underneath one, which didn't allow Hegwood to come from that safety spot to come down and get him fast enough.
Burton rolling, throwing in the flat, and it's incomplete. Knocked away.
Oh.
And a flag flies in. Intended for Nate Biesing. Number 16. But they're going to say that the defensive back was a little too aggressive, I think, after the ball was broken up.
That's a tough one because the ball did pop out and it fell down. It didn't go up, so it went underneath him. So he's driving through the tackle. He doesn't know that he doesn't have the ball anymore. And drove in. Wait, they called doubles.
Oh, they called a double.
They called it both ways.
Okay. So
All right.
Offsetting penalties.
That's a little easier to take. It's a bad call, but.
Okay. Offsetting penalties. Nate Biesing on the intended receiver, number 16. 2nd down and 10. Ball stays at the 37th. It goes in the stat book as an incomplete pass. This is not the East Central we've seen over the years, Dan, with the 3 wides and the shotgun quarterback. Now, just as soon as I say that, they're under center with a tight formation. Ashton goes in motion. Pitch to the left side. Brotherton tackled from behind. Not a lot there, maybe a loss. Joe Curd giving pursuit, tackling from behind. And that's a loss of 1 on the play. So a tackle for loss for Curd, 9th of the year, and it's 3rd down and 11.
Yeah,
Roncalli defense trying to get him off the field here.
Great pursuit by Curd, but then Johnny Rader came up from coming from the high side from that linebacker spot. Really stopped the forward progression and also. So just a nice double team tackle there.
Burton's back in the shotgun on 3rd down and 11. Drops straight back. Pocket collapses, throws down the middle of the field, and it is a leaping catch by Eli Ashton at the 30-yard line. Whoa, Joey Milto was there, but Milto maybe jumped a shade early, and Ashton has the catch all the way down at the Roncalli 30. It's Andrew Baugh in coverage. Ball spot at the 30-yard line. A 36-yard pass. And a 1st down, 1st and 10 Trojans at the Roncalli 30.
Yeah, he just went over the top and made sure he came down with it. Did a great job jumping.
That's a nice ball thrown by the sophomore Burton.
He got hit right at the end of that, too.
Fakes the give, now gives to Brotherton, cuts outside, back inside. He's inside the 20, down near the 18. He's got a 1st down. Connor Mann tackled him, but not before he moves the chains for another 1st down to the 18-yard line. 1st and 10.
East Central's got about 3 guys that get the ball to about 5 guys in the running, but 3 of them are over 200 yards for the year, and most of them are in the 300 to 500 range, and they just really like to spread that ball out. They're not counting on one back, but so it keeps them fresh, and it makes it tough for the defense.
1st and 10, East Central, 8:02 to go here in the first quarter, and we're scoreless. Trojans driving, play clock at 5. Burton takes the snap, gives to Brotherton right up the middle. He almost fumbled it, but he stayed on his feet and kept the football as well. And now he's inside the 10 to set up 1st and goal. Right up the gut.
Well, Burton looked like we talked about that mesh point for Roncalli. They did that mesh point also, and Burton held on to it too long to where Brotherton didn't think he was going to have it. It was hanging on the back of his hip as he ran through the hole. Very dangerous. Great job by him to just hold on to it.
Ball right at the 5-yard line. 1st and goal. Trojans were scoreless after the Royals turned it over on their first possession. Sam Ringer is in at quarterback, number 29. He takes the direct snap, runs it inside, trying for the goal line. Royals trying to pull him out. And is Ringer in? Yes, he is. Touchdown. Samuel Ringer coming in as a Wildcat quarterback here on 1st and goal. Runs it in from 5 yards out. Number 29, and the Trojans have a 6-point lead with 7:14 to go in the first quarter, capitalizing on the Roncalli turnover. Browndyke is on for the PAT. She's 41 of 43 on the year. High snap. Plenty of leg, and it's good.
Good-looking kick.
So for the first time in 14 games, Roncalli finds itself down by more than 3 points. East Central leading 7-0. We'll step out quickly for 30 seconds and come right back. It's Roncalli football on the Roncalli Media Network. Well, East Central capitalizes on the Roncalli turnover. 9 plays, 79 yards. Trojans go in just a tick under 4 minutes. And Roncalli finds itself down by a touchdown for the first time since the East Central game last year. That's amazing. 14 games. The last time Roncalli has trailed by more than 3 points. They've only trailed twice this year before tonight, and it was 3-0 in both the Franklin Central and the Brebeuf Jesuit games. Browndyke hits a end-over-ender that Hansen takes at his own 10 on the far side. Angling toward the middle, and he's encircled at the 25-yard line. Royals start there. So 1st and 10 Royals. Tonight's game brought to us by Indy Teledata, a business partner aiming to maximize technology investments in businesses and organizations in Central Indiana. They take the time to learn about your business so they can provide affordable and strategic solutions. To learn more, call Steve today at 317-231-5547. So the Royals down by a touchdown for the first time this season. Hayden Leffler leads the offense out. 1 receiver to the short side left, 2 to the wide side right. Now they motion Michael Gallagher out off the H-back spot. Leffler looking, throws over the middle, and a sliding catch by Zach Arman right at the 35-yard line. 10th catch of the year for the big senior Zach Arman, 6'4". It's a 10-yard gain and a first down. Caden Gore is also out there at a wide receiver spot, as is number 5, Kyle Lockard. Luke Hansen is the tailback. 1st and 10 at the 35. Roncalli trailing 7-0. 6:45 to go. First quarter. Leffler on the quarterback draw. He's hammered. Takes it right up the middle. No gain. That closed up quickly. Caleb Mergenthal was there, number 10. First guy there, as was Lewis Gray.
And East Central runs a 3-4 defense, just so you can picture it at home. They got the 3 down linemen. Now they do bring, if they can, if Roncalli doesn't split out guys, and they'll bring 2 guys down. It kind of looks like an old 5-2 look.
Leffler passing the flat, caught again by Arman. He's driven back. Forward progress gives him the 40. Pick up a 5, setting up 3rd down and 5. Jack Rainier drove him back, but they gave him forward progress at the 40. 3rd and 5 for the Royals. To the line quickly. Trojans unable to substitute. Leffler tried to hard count him, and they didn't bite.
Tell you what, I like that they're kind of focusing on Zach Arman a little bit. Spread out the receivers that he's targeting, which the more guys you go to, the harder it is to defend them.
Leffler gives to Hanson, picking his spots up
Nice
the middle.
run.
He's got a first down. He's out across the 45, but he was down. The ball came out after he was down. Hanson with more than enough to move the chains. He needed 5. He got 8. Out to the 48-yard line of East Central. First down. 1st and 10 at the Roncalli 48. Hanson the give again, straight up the middle. And he's driven back. They wait a long time to blow that one dead. They did give him forward progress into East Central territory in the 49. So it's a pickup officially of 3. Call it 4. Yep, because the down box is reset at the 47. So pickup of 4. 2nd down and 6. Michael Gallagher in motion left to right. Leffler on the keep. Straight ahead, takes a big hit, spins down shy of the 45. Setting up 3rd down and short. Ryan Bovard on the stop. Line to gain is just shy of the 42. Ball resting on the 46. So 3rd down and 4. 3rd down and 4 for the Royals. Michael Gallagher now goes in the slot left. Caden Gore is in at quarterback as Leffler is split wide to the left. Gore fakes the give to Hanson. Makes a move, and he's tripped up on a nice solo tackle out wide. Boy, the only man to beat was Charlie Houston, and he came up and made a stop at the 44. Royals have every intention of going for it here on 4th down and 2 at the 44. Inside 4 minutes to go, first quarter, and the Royals trailing 7-0. 4th down and 2. Royals this year 5 out of 11 on 4th down. That's 45%. Leffler looks to the bench for the play call. Dave Burton, the offensive coordinator, signaling it in. 4th down and 2. East Central crowds the line. Give to Hanson. He accelerates and lowers the head, and he's got the first down. Barging his way down near the 40. Straight ahead running. They gave him the 42, which is all he needed. Dan, when you've got the largest offensive line in the state, just run behind him for 2.
Yep. I would have liked to see him get more than 2 centimeters. But
Yeah.
they got enough to get it. Now, and what East Central's doing is it looks like they're slanting their defensive line. They're bringing the outside linebacker either one side or the other. Looks like it's mainly the field side linebackers who they're blitzing, which makes it tougher on the line because you get those moving.
Oh, it's a double pass. Leffler has Lockard in the end zone. Touchdown!
Go on, up to it.
It's a double pass. Gore lateraled it back to Leffler, who had lined up as a wideout. And then the home run ball from Leffler to Lockard for the touchdown. That brings the Royals within a point. It's a 42-yard pass from Leffler to Kyle Lockard. And that's one for the history books, as Kyle Lockard has now set the single-season touchdown catch record with 11. That's touchdown number 11 this year for Lockard. Luke Russell's on for the PAT to tie it up with 3:04 to go in the first quarter.
And Lockard totally caught up to that ball with his legs. Really nice job.
And Russell, plenty of legs right down the chute. So we'll stay right here with 3:04 to go in the first quarter as the Royals tie it up. Kyle Lockard with touchdown catch number 11 this season. That's the new program record, breaking the old record of 10 that was set by 3 different players. A couple of guys from way back, Bob Coker, 1975, Mike Perry, 1978.
Wow.
And Dan, one of your old teammates, Glenn Huffman, 1984. All 3 of those men had the single-season touchdown catch record with 10. It is now solely owned by Kyle Lockard.
Those guys are great players, all of them, but those are old dudes.
Yes.
Those are old dudes.
No offense. Coming from two other old dudes.
Yes, but when you think about the way the game has changed and progressed, you would think that there would be, a younger guy that would be in that mix with them other than Kyle Lockard. But again, that's great company to keep, and good for him, and just fantastic season he's had so far, obviously.
That Royal drive, 9 plays, 75 yards, 4:04. That's clock time, says Matt Donovan, our statistician. Levi Whistler is on, number 55, to kick it off for the Royals. 3 men deep for the Trojans. And he hangs it up for Ashton, who comes up and takes it at the 8 rather. He's right up the middle, and he's jacked at the 35. But Ashton with 2 kick return touchdowns this year. He's dangerous. And he's got a nice return from the 8 out to the 36. Now Robert Strakowski's in the building tonight. Normally he's listening at his lake home, but he's here tonight listening. Glad that he's with us tonight. Therese Carson watching down in Florida tonight. Of course, Angelo White and Dexter checking in from the Locust crew. Father Wilmoth from the Hermitage. Father Wilmoth surprised to learn that Matt Donovan is a certified meteorologist. He can't believe it. On the give, first down. Brotherton breaks a tackle. He squirts outside. He's got a nice run. Now he's got room up the side. He's into Roncalli territory. 30, 20, and he's pushed out of bounds. There are no flags at the 15-yard line. Oh, my.
Wow.
What a run by Ryan Brotherton. Johnny Rader knocked him out, but not before Brotherton, who broke a tackle in the backfield. It's a 49-yard run for Brotherton and a first down.
I mean, that's frustrating for the defensive coordinator. You really make contact in at the line of scrimmage or about the line of scrimmage, and then have him bounce it out and get that kind of pickup on a play that should have been 0 to 1 or 2 yards, ends up putting it at the 15-yard line. Holy cow.
First and 10 for the Trojans, knocking on the door. Low snap. Fake to give to Brotherton as Burton. He makes the first man miss up the middle. He's got a nice gain on first down.
Ooh, broken.
Boy, he sidestepped Joe Kurt, who was in the backfield quickly, and turned what was going to be a loss of a couple into a positive gain down to the 10-yard line. Pickup of 5, 2nd and 5. Second down and 5.
Yeah, that was a hot snap. That came back there quickly. It kind of caught him by surprise, but he did a good job holding on to it.
Give to Ashton around in, and he's down inside the 5-yard line. Tackled around the ankles by Johnny Rader, but not before he sets up first and goal at the 4.
Looked like that was supposed to be a touch pass, but he came too close to the quarterback.
Yeah, it was a handoff.
Yeah, but it was an awkward-looking handoff at best.
First and goal for the Trojans at the 4, looking to get right back into the lead. Inside a minute 50 to go, first quarter. We're tied at 7. Now they brought some extra linemen in. And Ringer is back in at the Wildcat quarterback. He took it in from 5 yards out on the previous possession. Looking around the end, and he walks it in.
Did it again.
Walks it in from 4 yards this time. Samuel Ringer, his second rushing touchdown in the quarter. And the Trojans are back on top, 13-7. Sophie Browndyke is out for the PAT try.
Wow, it's troubling for Roncalli in that there's nothing fancy in that. I mean, it looks like a read option, but there's no read option. He is keeping it from the get-go. So they are just beating them up front, getting a blocking lane, and Ringer's putting it in there.
Browndyke, plenty of leg right down the middle. So the Trojans quickly answer the Roncalli touchdown with one of their own. And East Central finds itself on top, 14-7, with 1:28 to go here in the first quarter. Let's step out quickly for 30 seconds and come right back. It's Roncalli football on the Roncalli Media Network.
Every day we go farther, try harder, and do things others think are impossible. But for people who are passionate about what they do, it's normal. At Ortho Indy, we make sure of it. As the largest sports medicine group in Indiana and the official orthopedic provider for the Pacers, our specialists work to treat your injury from diagnosis to recovery and get you back in the game, because you were built to perform. Ortho Indy Sports Medicine, helping you get normal back, whatever your normal looks like.
Well, East Central drives 64 yards on just 4 plays, minute 30. And Trojans back on top, 14-7. 1:28 to go here in the first quarter. Luke Hansen and Ben Brandenburg deep. Brownbike hits an end-over-ender that Brandenburg retreats and takes at his own 8. And the hole evaporates quickly. He's able to get it out across the 20 before he's driven down there. About the 22. Call it the 22. This is the third Roncalli possession will begin there. Royals with an interception and a touchdown pass on their first 2 possessions. East Central has scored 14 points in the first quarter. Roncalli had allowed 12 points total in the first quarter through the first 8 games. Royals have themselves in a fight tonight. Leffler gives to Hansen on the delay. Stop and go, not a lot there. Maybe 1, 2 tops out to the 24. Ryan Bovard closed the hole quickly on Hansen, pickup of 2.
And that's where that mesh point that we've talked about, he held onto it so long that it actually turned Hansen a little bit away from running towards the line of scrimmage, which obviously slows his pursuit to the line of scrimmage, makes him easier to tackle. So, it's a fine line between, holding it long enough to decoy and holding it too long where it slows your running back down.
Leffler keeps this time, and he flips it back. It's a running play on a lateral to Gore. And he's knocked out of bounds across the line to gain near the 35. That was a running play. We got a good look at the side judge who indicated immediately that was a lateral from Leffler to Gore. It's a first down on the run by Gore. Down to the 35. Pickup of 11 on 2nd and 8. 1st and 10, Royals. 14-7 the score. 43 seconds to go first quarter. Roncalli trails. Leffler gives this time again to Hansen. Waits for the hole. Still chopping the feet. And is able to work his way out to the 40. Stop and start a couple times on that carry by Hansen. Turned that into a 5-yard gain. Nice run by Hansen.
It was a really nice run, and it looked like he had worked his way through kind of a high tackle around his head or his face mask. No flag came out, so maybe they have a better eye on it than I do, but real nice job by Hansen.
Inside 20 seconds to go. This is likely the final play of the quarter. Leffler gives again to Hansen. He covers the football, breaks a tackle, and able to squirt his way out near the 45. He's going to be a yard shy of the line to gain. That'll give us 3rd down and 1 coming out of the quarter break on the other side.
They're trying to hurry it up.
Leffler tried to get the snap on the quarterback sneak, but the officials determining that the snap did not get off in time. Okay. And the Royals will run this play on the other side of the quarter break. We'll step out for 30 seconds and come right back. Roncalli trailing East Central after 1 here at the stadium on senior night, 14-7. Back with more in a minute on the Roncalli Media Network. Rob Brown, Dan Bauer back with you. We move into the second quarter tonight. Roncalli trailing East Central 14-7. Luke Hansen, 37 yards on 8 carries, the leading rusher for Roncalli. Kylie Lockard, 73 yards on 3 catches.
Turnover is the key of that first half, or the first quarter.
Yep.
I mean,
that's
you just
the difference in
can't
the
go
game.
into it. Yep.
So the Royals change ends heading toward the east end zone. Right to left across your radio dial in the second quarter. Third down and 1 as we resume from the Roncalli 44.
It's third down and 1.
Leffler's in shotgun, has Hanson to his left. Takes the snap, gives to Hanson. He accelerates. Woo. He's into the linebackers, and he's tackled at the 45 of East Central. Luke Hanson with a nice run. Picked his spot, running right between Patrick Meek, or Justin Lewis, and his center, Sam Seacrest.
Tell you what, I think he's done a great job of learning the acceleration part of the running back game. When he sees that hole, he's got a gear that he hits that I think is a lot different now than it was at the beginning of the season.
Leffler gives again to Hanson.
Whoa.
He breaks a tackle, spinning. Now he cuts outside. He's got room up the sideline. 30, 25, and he's tackled there. Oh, he spun out of a tackle in the backfield and somehow reversed it to the near side and takes it 24 yards. 24 yards. Call it 20 yards. It's a first down to the 25-yard line of East Central.
That was unbelievable. I mean, he was caught dead to right behind the line of scrimmage, and somehow spun out of that. That was just uncanny.
First and 10, Royals. Leffler takes the snap. Fakes the give, and he's going to be sacked back at the 30-yard line. Caleb Mergenthal, number 10, was not fooled. And Leffler sacked. That's just the 6th sack of the year by a Roncalli opponent. Back to the 29-yard line. It's a loss of 5 on the play.
Well, and with that extended mesh point, you really have to divide up your defense and cover both guys just in case, and that's all Mendenhall did. That Morgenthal did that time, was just covered the quarterback just in case he had the ball, and he guessed right that time.
Leffler stands in the pocket, looking, throwing to Gore in traffic, caught at the 10-yard line. He's tackled immediately by Jack Rainier, but Leffler put it right on the numbers to Gore for a 19-yard completion down to the 10 and a first down. Call it first and goal at the 10. First and goal, Royals at the 10-yard line. Leffler looking toward the bench for the play call. And his personnel organized. Gore goes wide right. Kyle Lockard, the lone receiver, split wide left. Extra lineman in, the jumbo package, 6 offensive linemen. Give to Hanson on first and 10. Spins out of initial contact and then rolls to the 8. Give him 2 on the play. Lewis Gray tripped him up. Second and goal from the 8. Patrick Meek is fanned out to the right tackle spot. There are 3 offensive linemen to the left of center. Luke Scartweed has moved out to that extended left tackle spot with Trevor Lauk and Grant Ray also on that side. That's the short side. Leffler gives to Hanson. Accelerates, leaps over the 5. He's tripped up there. Third and goal at the 5, pickup of 3.
Yeah, and in that formation, and at least that one, he was when I say Scartweed in that extended tackle spot, he was the last guy on the line of scrimmage, so he technically was eligible. So they had to declare him as eligible. They could throw him a pass. I don't know what kind of hands he's got, but
I've seen him play basketball. His hands are pretty good.
Oh, there you go. That might be something they're working on later.
Third and goal from the 5. Give again to Hanson, and he's not going to get there. He gets down to about the 3, maybe the 2. Where they put the football down at the 3. So it's a gain of 2. Fourth and goal at the 3.
I was watching Grant Ray run Hunter. Is it Sojohns or what is his name? Sones?
Hunter Sones.
Sones. Running him back, and he was all flustered. He didn't know who was hitting him or anything. He went after Leffler at the end of it.
Royals 1 for 1 so far tonight on 4th down. We'll go for it here. 4th and goal at the 3. Kyle Lockard in motion. Leffler has time.
In the middle.
He'll head for the pylon, and he takes it in. Touchdown.
All right.
Well, he looked right for Kyle Lockard and Zach Arman. That evaporated quickly, so he took it to the short side, and he ran it in for his 8th rushing touchdown of the season.
And Arman did a great job of adjusting his route and coming across the back of the end zone. He was open right in the middle. But, again, if you're going to score and you've got the legs to do it, go ahead and keep the ball. Don't worry about throwing it. But Arman did make a good adjustment on. Good for Leffler to get that touchdown.
3-yard touchdown run by Aiden Leffler. Luke Russell on to tie the game at 14. High snap. Caden Gore gets it down. Ooh, they had blockers in there, but Russell, plenty of leg, knocks it through. So Luke Russell ties the game at 14. 8:18 to go here in the first half. We've got to get to one more break, so let's go ahead and do that now. As those of you watching along see the replay of that Leffler touchdown run. 8:18 to go in the half. We're tied at 14, and we're back in 30 seconds on the Roncalli Media Network. Now 8:18 to go here in the first half. Roncalli and East Central, numbers 1 and 4 respectively in Class 4A, all tied at 14. Roncalli 3 possessions, interception and 2 touchdowns. East Central a touchdown in each of its first 2 possessions. And Luke Russell is on to kick it off. Levi Whistler handled the first kickoff tonight for Roncalli. This time it's the senior Luke Russell. Eli Ashton is the center man of the 3 men deep, and Russell sends that 4 yards deep into the end zone for his 10th touchback of the season. Appreciate everyone checking in tonight. You can tweet the booth at RBB_Brown, all lowercase. Let us know where you're watching the game tonight. Dan, we got a congratulations note from all sorts of folks. The Gold Camps in St. Louis, the Lundys on fall break in Nashville, Tennessee, and Grandma and Grandpa O'Connor at home on the south side. All watching the game tonight, all wishing good luck to Daniel O'Connor, Roncalli's leading tackler.
Yeah, he's a great player.
First and 10 for the Trojans at the 20 after the touchback. Cole Burton, the quarterback. Hands to Brotherton around left end, and he's decked at the 19. Oh, my. Oh, my. Joey Milto was waiting.
Ooh. Laid the boom on him.
Loss of 1 on the play. Second down and 11. 2 receivers either side for the Trojans. Brotherton is the lone back to the right of the quarterback, Burton. Now Ashton goes in motion. Fake the handoff. Now they throw it in the flat to Ashton. He's got nowhere to go, and he's encircled back and decked back behind the 20. Another tackle for loss. A lot of side-to-side running. Nolan Tunney was there, as was Will Morse.
Yeah.
And Dan, Will Morse got a big sack last week in the fourth quarter when Elder was driving to try and get within 1 touchdown.
Yep, that was a huge sack. No, I think it was his hit that kind of sent the running back looked like he ran into a wall, just completely backwards.
Third down and 12. Royals looking for their first defensive stop of the night. The tie score. Ashton goes in motion again. Burton, pump fakes, looking, throws over the middle, and it is almost picked off in and out of the hands of Ryan Brotherton at the 35, incomplete.
Yeah, Gabe Horn looked like a center fielder out there waiting to catch that ball. And luckily, East Central hand went on it and deflected it just enough that it didn't end up getting intercepted.
Punt team on the field for the first time tonight for either team. And the punter for the Trojans is Samuel Ringer. He doesn't go back too deep. He's also the Wildcat quarterback, so you have to be aware, and the Royals are playing up tight. Now Ringer drops deep, back to his own 6. Michael Hegwood stands at the 50. Minimal rush. Ringer gets a short sidewinder that Hegwood calls for a fair catch and takes at the Roncalli 49. Short kick. Royals take over in plus territory here with 6:55 to go in the first half. When you send flowers, put your trust in your local family-owned Indianapolis florist. That's Steve's Flowers and Gifts. For efficient, secure, and dependable service, call 317-787-3431 today. Cousins Mary Schaefer and Sam Casiro, a couple of Roncalli students down watching tonight in Carolina Beach, Florida. Aiden Leffler leads the Royal offense out. First and 10 at the East Central 48 is where this drive begins. Tie score at 14. Hanson chopping his way straight ahead. picking his spots, and he picks up about 5 on the first down carry, down to the 43. Sean Barely on the stop. 2nd down and 5. Royals quickly to the line, ready to go. Leffler calls for the snap, gives to Hansen. Again, taking his time, grinds his way inside the 40. Pickup of 3, 3rd down and 2.
Makes it 3rd down and 2 for the Royals.
3rd down and 2 for the Royals at the East Central 40. We're tied at 14. East Central will get the ball to start the second half. Lockard goes in motion. Give again to Hansen. He stutter steps, waits. Around left end, he barges his way down to the 36. That's enough to move the chains. He needed the 38. Had to have 2 yards. He got 4. And that's a first down.
And the key to that run is as Hansen goes up, he kind of shows the attack point, but then waits. He doesn't go. Then he works his way down the line of scrimmage. What that does is it allows the line to get their pushback into the linebackers so those linebackers can't pursuit and get to the ultimate place where the ball goes.
Hansen cutting side to side, not a lot there, and he stood up and driven down at the 35, giving 1. All sorts of white shirts had him trapped. Adam Rosemeyer, the first man there. So pickup of 1, 2nd down and 9. Ball at the 35 of East Central. 14-14 is our score. As Dan said, it's a low possession game. It's just the 4th possession of the night for Roncalli. East Central has had 3 here in the first half. Leffler taking his time here on 2nd and 9. Takes the snap, stands in the pocket. Looking. Pocket collapses. Now Leffler takes off. He's tackled from behind at the 33 on a nice play by Ryan Bovard, number 56. Give Leffler 2 on the play. 3rd down and a long 7. Ball spotted just outside the East Central 33.
Yeah, Bovard looks like he just played a box and 1 there. You know, go wherever the quarterback goes because he just kind of sat there and waited, didn't rush, didn't really do anything.
Leffler claps his hand, takes the snap. Screen pass out in the flat to Hansen. He's got to make some men miss. He makes 1 man miss, makes 2. He's
penalty.
free down the sideline, but I think that's going to come back with an illegal block at the 30-yard line.
I don't know who he's calling it on, but Kyle Lockhart was out in front. Did a real nice first initial hit. Where I think he might have got caught is as after he made the initial hit, the guy came in to make a tackle, and he hit him again, which I put him towards the back of it, which I think ended up. Well, no, that guy didn't even come in. He just laid him out. That can't be the call that they're making. Oh, they call head-to-head?
Well, let's see here.
I think he called head-to-head the way that kind of put fists together, which
that takes it back to the 45. So now it's 3rd and eternity. Roncalli needs the 26 is the line to gain. So 3rd down and 21. 3rd down and 21.
Wow.
It's 3rd down.
2 receivers either side for Leffler. Takes the snap, stands in. Pocket collapses, screen pass to Gore, and he's tackled and dropped at the 44. Pickup of 1. So the penalty backs Roncalli up, and that sends the punt team out. So each team getting a defensive stop here.
That's too bad because I don't agree with that. I'd like to see that on film to see exactly what he might have been calling on that. But I didn't see anything that was worthy of 15-yard penalty. It takes you out of your momentum that you got offensively.
Levi Whistler's on to punt it away for Roncalli. Eli Ashton is deep. He has a punt return touchdown to his credit this year. Stands back at the 10. Good snap, not a lot of rush, and Whistler gets away a short twisting kick that takes a good Roncalli hop.
Good bounce.
And the Royals will watch it settle to a stop at the 2-yard line. Nice pin job by the sophomore Whistler.
They kind of blocked out the receiver down there as the ball was rolling. And he looked like he was wanting to go in there and touch it, which I'm like, well, don't block him out. Let him touch it. Tackle him and then get the recovery.
So 1st and 10 at the East Central 2. 3:27 to go and a tied score first half, 14-14. McCaleb's checking in tonight, watching via the YouTube feed from Jackson Hole, Wyoming. That sounds nice.
It does sound nice.
Betsy Strader checking in. Hope she's feeling well. Whole group of Roncalli folks down in Gulf Shores tonight. The Jaffes, Matus, Kreiners, and Kesseniches all tuning in. Straight ahead on the first down carry. Not a lot there. And that was, I didn't get a number on that ball carry. That was number 37, Grant Ernst, the fullback. You don't see a lot of fullback carries anymore, Dan.
No, you don't.
That was the senior fullback, Grant Ernst, 6 foot, 216-pounder. He gained, they gave him 2 on the play, 2nd down and 8 from the 4. Royals do have all 3 timeouts. They get a stop here, try and get the ball back. Clock is running. 2:50 and change to go in the first half.
Flex bone offense here.
Quarterback is under center. Pitch back to the ball carrier, and he drives his way across the 5. That's it. The Royals may have called timeout. That was number 16 on the carry. Beesing. Note number 3. Trey Omer, who came in as their leading rusher, and that's his first carry of the night. And Roncalli does burn a timeout here on 3rd down and 6. We'll stay here. We've worked through our allotted breaks. We are well past the top of the hour, though, so we do need to get to a station identification before we go any further. So let's pause quickly for this 10-second break, reminding you you're listening to Roncalli Football on the Roncalli Media Network. Not Luke Russell, Luke Hansen. Roncalli defense looking to get a stop here and get the ball back before halftime. We're all tied at 14. East Central will get the ball to start the second half. Burton's in shotgun for the first time on this drive, going for the home run ball down the side, and it is caught down the sideline. Yes, Ryan Brotherton with the catch at the 40-yard line. What a catch by Ryan Brotherton at the 42.
That is some concentration because Horn was running really well with him, and it looked like his hand was up in the eyesight of what the receiver would get. So, I mean, just a fantastic job of just catching it and then making sure his feet were in bounds as he rolled through. Just excellent athletic play.
1st and 10 at the 42 of East Central. That gives the Trojans a little breathing room. Now they give to Omer on 1st and 10. He's got nothing there, and he's driven back, maybe 1 on the forward progress. Luke Swartz got back there first, then Johnny Rader and Brady New finished him off. Give him 1 on the play. 2nd down and 9.
That's a lot of struggle for 1 yard.
East Central does have 3 timeouts remaining, but they are operating right now as if it's the middle of the second quarter. Not a lot of urgency to the line right now for the Trojans. Burton looking left. Looked a long time, and he gets to Ashton on the little screen left, and Ashton able to dart his way out near the 50. That's a pickup of about 7, setting up 3rd down and 2.
Andrew Ball came on a safety blitz that almost got there right before because he held the ball forever before he let it go, and Ball almost got him.
And now Burton is wandering all the way over to the sideline to get the play call, then jogging back to a huddle. We see so few teams huddle now these days. 3rd and 2 at the 50. Inside 1:20 to go in a tied first half, 14-14. Burton gives to Omer. Looking to cut outside, spinning, and he's going to be close. Depends where they gave him forward progress. Look like they spotted him short by about a half a yard. They did indeed spot him short. 4th down has already been indicated.
They put a trips right, tried to get Roncalli's defense to shift all the way over, which Roncalli did. Their safety was over to the strong side there. It was one-on-one coverage to the backside. Then they tried to run a little sneak running attack to that backside, hoping Roncalli couldn't recover. But Roncalli did a great job of getting there and stopping it just a yard short.
4th down and 1, and the Trojans will run the play clock all the way down and call one of their 3 remaining timeouts. That will allow them to run the game clock down to 25-ish. Jake Miners calls time. 25 seconds left in the half. We've burned through our breaks here in the first half, so we'll stay here.
Well, you have to think that East Central is very happy with a 14-14.
Absolutely, and then getting the ball coming out.
Yes.
Getting the ball to start the second half, absolutely. Ortho Indy is one of the most highly respected orthopedic practices in the Midwest. Ortho Indy provides leading-edge bone, joint, spine, and muscle care from multiple locations throughout Central Indiana, while staying true to their mission and their patients. Call them at 317-802-2000. And tonight's game also brought to us by Harding Poorman, a full-service printing and brand communications company. Through creative services and strategies, they are dedicated to helping their clients get the most out of their brand communication efforts with quality they can see and results they can be sure of. Grandpa Hillen watching from the Hermitage. Of course he is.
Of course he is.
We would expect nothing less. 3 generations of Bonnages watching from the shores of South Carolina tonight.
And if the story holds true, there's about 8 other rooms going down the Hermitage on his wing that are also watching the Roncalli game. They just don't know how to get a hold of us and tell us.
That's all right. He speaks for all.
Call
and
another
now
timeout?
East Central wants another timeout. They came out and saw what Roncalli's defensive alignment was, and Jake Miners has called his second timeout. He had 2 left. We'll go ahead and stay here. 25 seconds left in the half. 4th down and 1 for the Trojans at the Roncalli 49.
Do life, not laundry. Milto Cleaners.
Has gone touchdown, touchdown, punt, and then this is their 4th possession tonight here with 25 seconds to go in the half. Now we're ready to go. 4th and 1 for the Trojans. Hunter Sounds is in at quarterback. Now they option out and look like they're going to punt it away. Samuel Ringer has dropped deep, and he will indeed rugby kick one over the head of Andrew Ball, and it takes a big hop into the end zone for a touchback. So that will give the Royals the ball. 1st and 10 at the 20 with 17 seconds to go.
Yeah, that's one where they want that slow roll, not the big hop, quick hop, because it got it back to the end zone quickly. So that's a good thing for Roncalli. They'll have a couple seconds if they choose to do anything. I would almost think they would just take a knee and head to halftime.
Well, immediately following these final 17 seconds, we'll take a 2-minute break, and then we'll have all the particulars on tonight's Beck Service Center halftime show. Dan Hevern checking in, watching the game tonight on his phone with 30 Roncalli grads at the campsite. That's right up your alley, Dan.
Yeah, we just came from
campsite. And Roncalli takes the knee. Well, Aiden Leffler takes the snap, takes the knee, and that will do it. So we are at a 14-14 stalemate here at the break. Roncalli and East Central, 2 of the top 4 teams in the state in Class 4A, living up to the billing here in this first half. We'll step out for 2 minutes. When we come back, we'll tell you all about half number 1 on the Beck Service Center halftime show. That's next on the Roncalli Media Network. And we welcome you into the Beck Service Center halftime show. Rob Brown, Dan Bauer with you at the stadium. Roncalli and East Central all tied at 14. Final regular season game for both of these teams before the sectional begins next week. For East Central, that means a home game with Greenwood. For Roncalli, it's a trip up to Howard County and a date with the Western Panthers. We'll talk about that in the postgame show. But, Dan, a very entertaining first half. It played out to a large extent like you said it would, in that it was a low-possession game. Each team had the ball 4 times in the first half. Each team scored twice. Yep. Roncalli punted once, had a turnover. East Central punted twice, and that turnover really is the difference in the game right now.
Well, this is 2 weeks in a row. Last week it went in with a 7-point lead at halftime. This week, very low scoring. Again, 14-14 halftime lead. It's kind of old school football, although obviously you're seeing a lot of read options and stuff that you didn't see in the old days. But it really comes down to tackling and not making mistakes. Obviously, the turnover hurt Roncalli in the beginning, but they've bounced back and they've been able to add scores in there and again keep that now, make it an equal game. Who wins the second half is what it comes down to.
Well, we run down the recap for you. Roncalli got the ball to start the game, drove down and had the ball inside the East Central 25 in less than a minute, and looked to be on their way to take a 7-0 lead, but Aiden Leffler threw an interception. It was picked off by Connor Kuhn, and then East Central then took that interception, that turnover rather, drove 66 yards and scored from 5 yards out. Samuel Ringer, the Wildcat quarterback, ran it in to put East Central up 7-0. That was the first time this year that Roncalli has trailed by more than 3 points. Roncalli, though, answered on its next drive with a touchdown of its own on a double pass. A lateral back from Connor Gore, who had rotated in at quarterback. Aiden Leffler had rotated out to the wideout spot. Gore lateral back to Leffler, who then found Kyle Lockard with a home run ball from 42 yards out. Roncalli then tied the game. East Central, though, answered with a quick drive of their own, 64 yards in 4 plays. Ringer took it in again, this time from 4 yards out. That made it 14-7 East Central. Roncalli then had a longer drive of 78 yards. Took it in. Aiden Leffler capped it with a 3-yard run on 4th and goal from the 3. That made it 14-14 and settled us up where we are here. Dan, are you surprised? We've seen East Central tonight, from a formation standpoint, not what we've seen from East Central in the past. A lot of 4 wides, quarterback and shotgun, and really not a lot of hesitancy to throw the ball deep.
Well, and I was talking to a person coming up here, but they were questioning because East Central and Roncalli could face each other in the semifinal round of the playoffs again. So the question came up: do you show everything in your playbook tonight to get the win? I think East Central at least said, heck yeah, we're going to show everything because, they even came up in a flexbone package there, which I have never seen them run a flexbone type of option system. But, yes, they had wideouts. They had their fullback in there in an I formation a couple of times. They did T formations, single back formations. They really showed a lot of different sets. And generally East Central is kind of, I don't want to call it bare bone, but they come up with a game plan and they stick to it. They don't show a lot of different sets and stuff. So it is something they've been working on, and it, from a defensive standpoint, it keeps you on your toes because you've got to adjust to there. And Roncalli had to burn a timeout, I think, to kind of adjust to a look that they hadn't seen earlier. So again, if offensively that you're causing the other team to call timeouts to work against you, that is a good coaching move.
Well, 14-14 is our score, all tied up. Roncalli and East Central on the regular season finale of this 2021 season. We'll take our first break on the Beck Service Center halftime show. On the other side of this 2-minute pause, we'll run down the fall sports updates, some tournament time updates to give you on that front. We'll look at some stats as well. All that coming up after this 2-minute break. You're listening to Roncalli Football and watching on the Roncalli Media Network.
We're so thrilled to have Peyton Manning's name on our children's hospital. But we are a hospital designed for kids.
And then the halfback went in motion and then ran a slant route across the middle. Try to get a linebacker isolated on him. I like this beat. It's nice. Give me some more bass. A little more bass here. These are nice. Wish they had them at the adult hospital next door. They gonna make this giraffe green.
That's crazy.
Might be right. Let's go red right, scat right, 585, wide drag. On two. Ready? Break. Nice ride. Y'all have these in blue? Can you hear this?
There's only one Peyton Manning Children's Hospital, offering world-class compassionate care for your child. Schedule primary ER or specialist care online.
Thanks, Peyton. We've got this.
Oh, okay. That's where they go.
Do life, not laundry. Milto Cleaners.
Rob Brown, Dan Bauer back with you on the Beck Service Center halftime show. Roncalli and East Central all tied at the break, 14-14. Let's look at our fall sports update. A couple of fall sports still going on. The volleyball team will host the sectional semifinal and final tomorrow. Volleyball team winning the opener over Southport in 3 games on Tuesday night. They will play Tech tomorrow morning at the Vinnie at 10 o'clock. The other semifinal, Perry Meridian and Ben Davis. Winners come back and play at 7 o'clock tomorrow night for the title. You can watch that game on the IHSAA Champions Network and the Roncalli production. It is a pay-per-view broadcast, a $10 pay-per-view broadcast. Pat Crosley and Heather Lazan will be the broadcast team tomorrow night for that volleyball sectional final. And Roncalli going for its 5th straight sectional title. And if the Royals are able to complete the deal tomorrow, they would become the 8th team in Indiana history to win 30 volleyball sectional titles. They're sitting on 29 right now. So good luck to the girls tomorrow. Coach Erasmus and the gang. Girls soccer team saw its season end 4-0 on Wednesday night to a very good East Central team that was ranked 18th in the state. That was in the regional semifinal. That was on Wednesday night. So congrats to Coach Hirschman and her team. Had a great season. And then finally, the cross-country teams will be in action in the regional tomorrow at Rushville. That race is run at the Rushville Middle School. Boys run at 10:30, girls at 11:15. Last week, the boys finished 4th in the sectional at Mount Vernon. John Luke Uzen was the top finisher in 19th place, Jack Davis 22nd, and Jack Rittenhouse 25th. Girls team finished 3rd. Valeria Lara was 7th, Lauren Turk 9th, Sarah McGraw 15th, Rachel Flick 18th, and Ashley Flick 20th. So 5 in the top 20 for the girls last week. Top 5 finishers, top 5 teams advanced. Same thing tomorrow. 10 teams at the regional for cross country. Top 5 teams of those 10 advanced to next week's semi-state at Shelbyville.
Is Rushville a fast course?
It's moderately fast, but it'll be slow tomorrow with all the rain that we've gotten today, and we'll
Cold
get
weather,
overnight.
too.
Yeah, the temperature will be great for racing, but courses across the state should be pretty slow tomorrow because of all the rain that we've gotten in the last day or so. Let's take a look at some numbers. We mentioned Roncalli, pretty even split, 105 yards rushing, 110 yards passing in that first half. So for 215 total. East Central, 182. 97 rushing and 85 passing. Only penalty of the first half was that big 15-yarder for Roncalli that backed him up on the final possession of the half. Some individual numbers. Luke Hansen, 17 carries, 89 yards, seeking his 4th 100-yard game and what would be the last 5. Kyle Lockard has 73 yards receiving on 2 catches, including the 42-yard touchdown. He's just 18 yards away from the single-season receiving yards record. And for East Central, not a lot of big rushing numbers. Samuel Ringer does have 2 rushing touchdowns on 2 carries. That's not a bad ratio.
No.
And receiving for East Central, Eli Ashton, the leading receiver coming in, He has 4 catches for 49 yards, including that big catch down the sideline.
He's a good player.
Really impressed, Dan, with some of the big play potential of this East Central offense. That usually historically has not been a thing. It's more like they just kind of beat you into submission.
They're grind out, yes, no question.
You don't think of them as having a team that puts up a lot of big chunk plays, i.e. 20-plus yards.
No, they've got some players in some key positions, and they're taking advantage of it. And I like the way they're opening up the offense a little bit and showing different sets, running some different plays. And in today's game, you kind of have to do that to spread that defense out to allow your ground game, in their case, to work better. In the old school lineup and put everybody in the box and just kind of plow forward just doesn't work in today's football games.
Well, the second half is going to come down to which team can get a defensive stop or two.
Well, we talked about while we're watching the flip of the coin, Roncalli's choice to receive the ball, and I had mentioned that the only advantage to that is that if in a low possession game, you can gain an advantage by having more possessions. However, 4 possessions for offense, 4 possessions on defense in the first half, which means it's equal. You don't gain an advantage. Coming out of that now, the advantage flips to East Central because they have they're receiving the ball first. They have the opportunity now to have more possessions in the second half. So that flip of the coin could be an important factor in the outcome of this football game.
Well, we'll take our second and final break here on the Beck Service Center halftime show. When we come back, we'll take you up to the start of quarter number 3. East Central will get the ball, and the score is tied, 14-14. Stay with us. Second half around the corner next on the Roncalli Media Network.
High school sports fans, welcome back to Game Time, to pure spirits, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Game Time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
Rob Brown, Dan Bauer back with you as the mist begins to fall here at the stadium. Roncalli and East Central just about set to start the second half, about 3 minutes away from the start of the second half. Dan, you talked about some of the things that you expect to see in the second half. What's some adjustments you might see from a Roncalli standpoint?
Well, I mean, obviously Roncalli and his defense needs to come out and stop East Central right away to, again, take away that advantage that they have or could have in the possession category. When you look at that first half and you look at those numbers, the numbers are pretty much identical as for rushing yards, passing yards for both teams. Both teams are very good football teams. The two biggest things that stand out, and I mentioned it earlier, is the interception that East Central got, and then that penalty. Roncalli has another chance to score if they don't have that penalty, so Roncalli has a chance to be up. So, it's two negative elements. And if you're a football fan and you sit and tell me that every play doesn't matter, I'm going to point to this game and say there's two plays that mattered dramatically in where this game stands right now. If Roncalli can score in that first possession, not give up that interception, that puts them in the 7-point lead, and then East Central's changed in their game plan. If Roncalli scores instead of having that penalty, after that, because they were marching down the field and everything looked really good until you get that 15-yard penalty. Now you're back and you're behind the chains and you just can't get the first down. Scoring there puts you ahead of it. So, I think the big thing that Roncalli really needs to do is just kind of, make every play count and don't shoot your offense or don't shoot your defense. Don't make the mistakes. And in this kind of a game, a low-scoring game, and again against another, team that is really fundamentally sound, those errors are highlighted more than normal. And so Roncalli really needs to play, and I don't want to say perfect because that puts too much pressure on them, but a closer to perfect second half to make sure they end up in top.
Well, look at some scores while we await the start of this second half, which is about a minute away. We mentioned the mist is now falling here at Roncalli. Temperature continuing to drop into the low 60s, high 50s expected by the end of this game tonight. Bishop Chatard leading Bloomington South 14-0 at the end of one. Center Grove just went on a long touchdown drive to take a 7-6 lead over Cathedral. That game being played at Arlington. And get you the specifics on that here in a minute. Drew Wheat with a 70-yard touchdown run.
Wow.
5-play, 92-yard drive for the Trojans. Now lead Cathedral 7-6 with 2:31 to go in the third quarter.
That wing T will do that to you.
Wing T will do that to you. A couple other folks checking in tonight. Appreciate everyone listening and having us be alongside on a Friday night here in mid-October. This fall has clearly set in. Jesse Cleary checking in from the Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas. I'm down with that. I can get down with that.
Is it me or more people checking in from exotic locations that really give us kind of a...
I think it's great. I'm all for it.
Me too.
I think it's outstanding.
A lot of things end in beach. And,
yep. Well, you kind of expect that a little bit because it is fall break,
yeah.
so a lot of people went out of town. There actually is a pretty good crowd tonight, though. I thought the crowd would be a little diminished tonight.
I agree.
Because of the weather and the weather forecast and it being fall break. But there's a pretty good crowd tonight and a decent crowd that made the trip up from East Central with 74 under construction in the southeast corner of the state. That is not an easy trip up.
Mm-mm.
And, of course, right on cue, the most interesting man on the south side, Brian White, checks in.
Well, where's he been?
He's in Hill Valley tonight. He's not at his palatial estate on the lake.
Wow.
But I'm glad Brian's with us. Luke Russell on to kick it away for the Royals. Eli Ashton, dangerous and deep. 2 return touchdowns to his credit. Stands in the middle of 3 deep men for East Central. Russell hits a low line drive at twisting, sends Ashton back to his 1. Ashton going straight up the hash. Cuts to the outside, breaks a tackle, still on his feet, out across the 35, still moving, still down the sideline, tackled the 45. Boy, he is a dangerous kick return man. Eli Ashton, the junior, takes it out across the 45, and another strong return. Trojans begin 1st and 10 at the East Central 46. Call it the 40, yep. Let's see where they put it down. The 47. Call it the 47. 1st and 10 to start this second half. The tie score of 14. Trips formation to the right for Colbert, the quarterback. He gives to Ryan Brotherton right up the middle. Hole evaporates quickly after he's slammed back at the 50. Pickup of 3. Tyson Garrett was there. Met him in the hole. Tyson had 2 interceptions last week in the win at Elder. It's the first time in 2 years that a Royal defender had 2 interceptions in the game. You have to go back to Skylar Phillips, Dan, at Bloomington North 2 years ago.
Well, and that first interception he had was just fantastic.
One-hand tip job to himself as he was falling down. And the second one iced the game in the final 2 minutes. Pick up a 3 for Brotherton. They empty out the backfield. And a screen pass is over the head, incomplete. Boy, Daniel O'Connor almost had an interception. He slipped. Intended receiver was Ashton, number 1, coming across the formation. Daniel O'Connor, turf may be getting a little slippery with the rain.
Yep.
The mist coming down. 3rd down and 7.
Well, they brought that guy in motion to bring him. Make it look like it was going to be a pass out to the flats because they've done that a couple different times throughout the first half, and so that forced the defense over. They thought it would open up the middle of the lane for a center pass there to do it, but Daniel O'Connor was there, and very dangerous pass.
3rd down and 7. Burton takes the snap, gives to Brotherton on the delay, and he's dropped in the backfield by Daniel O'Connor on an outstanding one-on-one tackle. Brady New got to Brotherton first and slowed him down. Brotherton spun out of that hold, but then Daniel O'Connor was there to finish the play.
Well,
for a loss of 3.
Milto came screaming out of his corner spot on a corner blitz, which he ran by the play, but I think it disrupted the running back just enough where it left him he wasn't up to full speed when Daniel O'Connor came on and finished him up. Wow.
Samuel Ringer on to punt it away. Royals send a rush. It's a high end-over-end kick. Michael Hegwood calls for and gets the fair catch at the 21. So the Royals get a 3-and-out stop. First of those of the night for the Royal defense. Actually, the second of those, I should say. First and 10 at the 21 for the Royals. 14-14 is our score. 10:33 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Aiden Leffler leads the offense out. Luke Hansen, 87 yards rushing in that first half. He's the tailback behind Leffler in the pistol formation. Now Lockard in motion. Turn and give to Hansen. Breaks an initial tackle and tried to get back to the line of scrimmage, and he did, barely. That play blown up quickly by number 45, Adam Rosemeyer, and number 67, Lewis Gray.
They had Lockard in the jet sweep look in front of it, trying to hope that kind of pulled the defense a little bit that way, but East Central wasn't buying it at all.
It did not. 2nd and 10, no gain on the Hansen carry. Now Lockard goes in motion again. This time it's Leffler on the keep. Barging straight ahead, he gets 3 out to the 24. Ryan Bovard on the stop, pickup of 3. 3rd down and 7. Leffler has Gore and Lockard split wide to the left, to his right rather. Michael Gallagher, the H-back, to that same side. 3rd and 7 at the 24.
They got jumbo left.
Leffler rolling that way to the wide side. Plants, has Lockard in a double team, and Lockard goes up and couldn't get it. It's knocked away at the 30. That's a tough catch to make in that double team. Good coverage there by the 2 defenders, Cooper Hogue and Charlie Hewson for East Central.
Lockard did a good job of going up and trying to give himself a chance. It hit his hands. I think he kind of wishes he had it back, but you're right. Having that double team right there with him, there's a lot of contact going on as he's catching that ball.
So each team gets a 3-and-out stop to start the second half. So score 1 for each defense to start this second half. Levi Whistler's back to punt it away inside the Roncalli 10. Eli Ashton, very dangerous. And Whistler gets a short kick away. All sorts of bodies around. And it takes a sidewind bounce. Out of bounds at the 39 of East Central. So East Central will begin its second possession of the second half there at the 39-yard line. With 9:14 left in the 3rd quarter and a tie score, 14-14. So neither team able to get anything going on the ground. In that first possession number 2 for the Trojans. They give to Ashton across the formation in motion. Royals string him out to the sideline and nobody there. As side-to-side running, he's tackled for a loss by Michael Hegwood. Ashton tried to put a foot in the ground and plant it upfield, but there was never a seam to get to.
No, defense did a great job of stringing that out. And Hegwood came from his safety spot out to that last spot where the sideline was coming quickly, so the running back had to make a decision, and Hegwood was there to bring him down.
2nd down and 11, a loss of 1 on the play. Burton takes the snap, hands to Brotherton. He cuts out to the left, and he's still on his feet. He was tripped up and then knocked out of bounds at the 44. Got through the initial hit from Nolan Tunney and able to keep his feet out to the 45. Call it the 44. Pickup of 6. 3rd down and 5 at the 44. 3rd down and 5 at the 44. 3 receivers to the right of the quarterback Burton, 1 to the left. Now Brotherton empties out in the backfield. They go screen pass that way. Brotherton spins out of a tackle, and he tries to dive his way forward. He lost his footing, and he downed himself shy of the line to gain by about a yard, maybe a yard and a half, at the 47 of East Central.
Well, he did a great job.
That sends the punt team out, 4th and 2.
Just getting out of the tackle. Roncalli really covered it well, but he spun and got out of the tackles and just kind of had lost his balance because there was no one else from Roncalli that was there to tackle him before he got past that first down marker. He just lost his balance and fell.
Andrew Ball, number 17, is deep. First time we've seen him deep to field the punt this year. Ringer goes back to the 35 to field the snap. Royals still think something might be up. Ringer gets away a good kick. The ball fair catches and takes at the 19. At the 20-yard line. 1st and 10, Roncalli. At its own 20-yard line, 7:37 to go, 3rd quarter, and a tie game, 14-14. Tonight's game brought to us by St. Vincent Sports Performance, where their dream is to bring new meaning to maximum potential. The athletes they serve live this dream daily, reaching new heights of strength, agility, balance, endurance, and speed. For information or to schedule an appointment, call St. Vincent Sports Performance at 317-415-5795. Roncalli out for possession number 7 of the night. 14-14 our score, 7:37 to go, 3rd quarter. Screen pass out in the flat to Gallagher, and it's incomplete. He couldn't find the handle, was already trying to run with it before he caught it. Make that Hanson the intended receiver on that screen pass. 2nd down and 10.
You see that flat pass come across there. You just got to make sure that the official marks him ahead of where the quarterback threw the ball so that wasn't a fumble.
2nd down and 10. Kyle Lockard split wide. Actually, 3 receivers wide to the right. Caden Gore, the lone receiver, left. Leffler looking in the pocket, running. He's got a little bit of room up the sideline. 30-35, and he slides to a stop out across the 40 and a 1st down. So Aiden Leffler on the scramble. Picks up the 1st down and a gain of 20 out to the 40-yard line.
That looks like a 4-year starter out there. Did a great job of stepping up with the pressure coming behind him, then rolling out to his side, still looking down the field. And then once he got out, he kept kind of coming closer to the sideline to stay away from contact.
1st and 10. Give to Hanson. Hole closes quickly. He's able to surge ahead for a couple. Not a lot there. East Central bottled that up quickly. That was Lewis Gray again, and we've called his name a lot tonight, number 67. Ryan Bovard was there as well. What have you seen from that front 3, Dan?
They're running some slants, and I mean they're doing a good job. It's nothing special. They're just kind of lining up and trying to get into gaps. They're not doing any kind of folds or
Hanson on the 2nd down carry, spins out of initial contact and able to wiggle his way out across the 45. Boy, I'm not sure how he turned that into positive yardage. He was hit behind the line of scrimmage and was able to work his way out to the 47-yard line. Setting up 3rd down and 3. Line to gain is the 50. 3rd down and 3. See if Roncalli takes a shot down the field. They've not hit one down the field since that double pass to Lockard in the 1st quarter. And now we've got a flag. Offsides. Side judge is saying offsides against East Central. Somebody lined up in the neutral zone, I believe.
Well, all kinds of signals there.
Yeah, he was either Brian Feggi was either doing the Watusi or was trying to remember what the offside signal was. Put his hand on his head, on his hips. I'm not sure if that was the Macarena or what that was.
It resulted in a first down. That's the important part.
Well, it was 3rd and 3 and is a 5-yard penalty and is indeed a first down. So that reloads the down box and puts the ball at the 48 of East Central. 1st and 10, 6 minutes to go, third quarter, tie score 14. Leffler stands in the pocket, throws, has a man, Gallagher. He's got a catch at the 35, and he's wrestled out of bounds inside the 30. Michael Gallagher making some things happen down the field, down to the 29. Call it a gain of 19 and a first down, Roncalli. 5:50 to go, third quarter, tied at 14.
Gallagher made a really nice adjustment on that. That ball was thrown slightly behind him, which puts it further away from the defense, which is, a great place to put that ball. But for, let's call him a fullback type player, to be able to adjust his shoulders and get his hands back to catch it, that's a very athletic play. He did a great job of twisting the waist to get it and then be able to turn back around and get a couple extra yards after catching.
Leffler with time on the play clock, 10, takes the snap, stands in the pocket, throws. Down the sideline, it's a tough catch.
Oh, he might have got it.
He went up top to get it, and he brought it in. Oh, my, what a catch by Caden Gore.
That had to go inches over the defender's head. It was a low-thrown ball, but he did a great job of bringing his hands over the helmet to bring it in.
Those of you watching alongside, there's the replay. He did indeed go up top over the receiver down to the 3-yard line, 1st and goal. The hand to Hansen, seeking the goal line.
Oh, great run.
Spinning, he's in, touchdown. And the Royals have their first lead of the night with 5:39 to go in the third. 2014 Roncalli. What a catch by Caden Gore to set that 3-yard touchdown run for Hansen up. And I have to think Hansen is closing in on 100 yards at this point.
Oh, yeah.
99 for Luke.
Ooh, that's closing in.
And that touchdown was his 7th of the year. Here's Luke Russell for the PAT. Looking to extend the Roncalli lead to 7. Good snap. Gore gets it down, and Russell knocks it right down the chute. So first Royal lead of the night, as Roncalli scores first here in the second half. 5:39 to go, third quarter. Let's duck out quickly for 30 seconds and come right back. It's Roncalli football on the Roncalli Media Network. Well, the Royals dent the scoreboard first here in the second half. 8-play, 80-yard drive, just under 2 minutes. We've seen a lot of those drives this year from the Royal offense. Luke Hansen caps it off with a 3-yard run, but it was the circus catch by Caden Gore down the sideline that set it up. And the Royals find themselves on top for the first time tonight. Luke Russell back to kick it away. Eli Ashton had a 40-plus yard kick return to start the second half. Very dangerous back there. And they send Ashton back to his own 3. Ashton in the middle of the field. Stop and go. Royals have him encircled. He's not down yet, and he finally is at the 22. Connor Mann got a hit on him first. And they'll put the football down, let's see, at the 22, I believe. Call it the 23. So 1st and 10 there. Royals have their first lead of the night, 21-14. Roncalli had trailed earlier tonight 7-0 and 14-7. East Central has not scored since the first quarter. Andrew Stuck comes on late as a linebacker to give Johnny Rader a quick rest. Give to Brotherton, and he's tossed down behind the line of scrimmage by big Luke Swartz. Boy, Luke's been close to a couple of those tonight on the tackle for loss. That time he got his man back to the 21, a loss of 2.
Well, and if everybody can remember old East Central, that was old East Central right there. They had 2 tight ends, 1 on each side. They had all the running backs inside the tackle box. All 11 players were inside. They put a guy in motion to head to the strong side, tried to make it through there, and Luke wanted nothing to do with it.
And
Great
Samuel
play.
Ringer, who ran the Wildcat for 2
You're good at keeping the car clean. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
4:03 left to go in the third quarter, and a tie score. Brown Dyke, end over end. And a tackle out near the 30. Returned by Ryan Brandenburg. So Brandenburg takes it out to the 29-yard line. And the Royals begin there. 1st and 10. Aiden Leffler has 3 receivers to his right. Takes the snap. Looks that way, now keeps it. Right up the middle. Barging his way out across the 35 to the 37. Good first down carry. Sets up 2nd down and 2. Give him 8. Out to the 37. Back and forth we go. 21-21 the score. Each team has scored a touchdown here in this third quarter. Leffler turns, hands to Hansen. He's over 100 yards. He's in the secondary. He's out near the 50. So Luke Hansen crosses the 100-yard barrier on that 12-yard carry out to the 49. And he's over 100 yards for the 4th time in the last 5 games.
He burst through that circle and that line of scrimmage there, and his head was on a swivel. He was looking for that linebacker coming over. He had a stiff arm out there to protect him.
Give again to Hansen, pounding his way straight ahead, and he's pulled back, but he's able to get about 4 into Trojan territory down to the 47. Ethan Greiwe on the stop. 2nd down and 6. Royals moving quickly. Leffler clapped his hands and almost drew the Trojans off sides. Now Roncalli looking toward the bench for the play call. 18 seconds to go on the play clock. Plenty of time for Leffler. Takes the snap. Gives to Hansen again. Stutter stepping and not a lot there. They gave him forward progress. Maybe he's able to get back, and he did. He got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
With the aid of Grant Ray pushing. Get that line in there.
Yep, no gain on the play. 3rd down and 6. 3rd down and 6 at the East Central. Call 5. They give him 1.
Yeah.
They did give him 1. So 3rd down and 5. Line of gain is the 41 of East Central. Leffler stands in, blitz coming. Pressure, throws, and he could not get it to Zach Arman. He threw it behind him. Incomplete. Leffler was rushed. The pocket collapsed. Had to get rid of it. And that sends the punt team out. For the Royals, trying to pin East Central deep.
Connor Kuhnkamp was the one that applied pressure there. He was on a delayed blitz as a linebacker spot.
Well, Eli Ashton is not on the field because the Trojans clearly don't think Roncalli is going to punt this away. Now Samuel Ringer begins to retreat, but Eli Ashton, their primary return man, is not on the field. High snap. And Whistler just barely gets it away. It's a good kick. Near the sideline, it takes a friendly Roncalli bounce and kicks out of bounds at the 15. Boy, Whistler flirted with it there, but he got it away. And East Central begins at the 15, its own 15. 1:52 to go here in the third quarter. And the game is tied at 21. Let's see which defense can get the next stop. Cole Burton is back in at quarterback. Has 3 receivers to his left and 1 to his right. Ryan Brotherton is the lone back. Brotherton takes the give on first down, straight ahead. Lunges his way ahead for about 4 to the 16. Daniel O'Connor was there, as was Joe Curd. 2nd down and 6. Inside 100 seconds to go, third quarter. Burton is jogging over to the sideline to get the play call and then jogging back to tell his teammates what the play is. Burton stands in, has time, and he throws a dump off, and a pass is incomplete. Oh, Johnny Rader's saying that he intercepted it. It's an incomplete pass. There is a flag down, though. Nate Biesing, number 16, was the intended receiver. Let's see what this penalty is, however.
That delay in the throw might be a illegal man downfield, I would guess.
Royals are pointing toward East Central. It is indeed an illegal man downfield. I thought there could have also maybe been a hold there as Tyson Garrett got out of the pocket and forced Burton to his left. So that's a 5-yard penalty. And the repeat second down. It is now second down and 11. Second down and 11. 1:15 left here in the third quarter. Tie score 14. Second down and 11. Burton takes the snap, fakes the give. Roncalli sends pressure. Pass is dropped out in the flat. Johnny Rader coming on the blitz. Biesing, number 16, was the intended receiver. Rader was coming fast and quick.
Yes, he was, and he laid a good hit on the quarterback. Burton didn't like it. He got up kind of talking to the referee, trying to plead his case.
Now, third down and 11, Dan. Roncalli's defense has got to get off the field here. You've got East Central pinned deep.
Yep.
You got the field position tilted in your favor.
Yep, take advantage of it.
But East Central has been up to the challenge on these third and longs so far tonight. Third down and 11 here at the Trojan 14. Burton empties out the backfield. Here comes the blitz. Screen pass to Brotherton. He accelerates to the sideline, and the Royals knock him out of bounds for a gain of a couple. Joey Milto and Gabe Horn had that smothered. Joe Curd also there. And that sends the punt team out. Third time in 4 possessions that Roncalli's defense in this third quarter have forced a 3 and out. Now you've got to take advantage of the field position here. Michael Hegwood stands at the Roncalli 45 with 1:01 to go in the third quarter. Samuel Ringer has yet to drop deep. Now he does. Rugby-style kicker. Back to his 5, takes the snap. Off the side of his foot, it's short. And Hegwood gets away from it. It takes a high bounce and then settles to a stop at about the 44-yard line of Roncalli. So the Royals will start there. We'll keep it here with just 48 seconds to go in the third quarter. Well, if you're busy and you don't want your dog to feel alone, Camp Bow Wow understands. That's why they offer doggy daycare, where your pup can run around with other dogs while cared for by their certified camp counselors. Camp Bow Wow has spacious play areas for maximum fun. Call 317-801-1123 to make an appointment. It's Camp Bow Wow. First and 10 Royals at their own 44. Tie score at 21, 48 seconds to go, third quarter. Leffler stands in the pocket. Now he keeps it. Can't break an ankle tackle. Nice one-on-one tackle out there. Boy, if he got by that man. Connor Kuhn, who had the interception in the first half. Nice ankle tackle, limiting Leffler to pick up a 4. That looked like a big gainer.
There was a lot of green space just past
if
that
Leffler
tackle.
Got past Kuhn, but a nice play by the sophomore. Second down and 6. Call it 7. Second down and 7. Pickup of 3. Leffler in the pocket. Spinning. Still on his feet. Still running. Now he's out to the 50. Well, he ran around an awful lot to pick up 3. Kuhn got him again. Actually, they gave him the 49. They gave him 4. So that sets up third down and 3, and that'll be the final play of the third quarter. So on the other side, Royals will have it 3rd and 3 at the East Central 49. We end the third quarter all tied at 21. 12 minutes to go. Maybe settle this one. We'll have it on the other side after this on the Roncalli Media Network.
Every day, we go farther, try harder, and do things others think are impossible. But for people who are passionate about what they do, it's normal. At Ortho Indy, we make sure of it. As the largest sports medicine group in Indiana and the official orthopedic provider for the Pacers, our specialists work to treat your injury from diagnosis to recovery and get you back in the game, because you were built to perform. Ortho Indy Sports Medicine, helping you get normal back, whatever your normal looks like.
Rob Brown, Dan Bauer back with you. Head of the final quarter, all tied. Luke Hansen, 116 yards on 24 carries for Roncalli. 3rd down and 3 for the Royals at the East Central 49 to begin this final quarter. All tied at 21. 2 of the top 4 teams in the state in Class 4A lived up to the billing. Extra offensive lineman is in. Now Lockard goes in motion. Leffler on the draw. Lowers the shoulder and bangs his way inside the 45. That's enough to move the chains down to the 44. Pick up a 5 and a 1st down. Marty and Fran Davey checking in from the south side tonight. Larry Stimpson also checking in. Glad he's with us. 1st and 10 Royals at the East Central 44. Royals looking to the bench for the play call. Callie back to the conventional. Actually, they've got 6 offensive linemen on the field right now. Lockard goes in motion again. Flag flies. Hansen up the middle. He's inside the 40, but that's going to come back. That looks to be another penalty on the Royals.
Did they not have enough guys on the line of scrimmage, maybe? They had a guy in motion. I think they brought him off the line of scrimmage, and he never made it back to the line of scrimmage, I think, but I'm not sure. Maybe we'll see it on the replay, but regardless, it's a 5-yard penalty.
So that takes the ball back to the 49. Royals do indeed have 6 offensive linemen in. Patrick Meek is the extra man in. 1st down and 15. 1st and 15 for the Royals after the penalty. Leffler on the quarterback draw, straight ahead. Chopping the feet is inside the 40. He got back the penalty yardage and then some. Down to the 39, pickup of 10. 2nd down and 5.
That is a true power run right there. Just follow your line right up the middle. There was no cuts, nothing else, just straight ahead running. And those linemen pushing back that defensive wall, just really nice.
Well, this is the money time, Dan. You talked about this in the Elder game last week. The 4th quarter is when the offensive linemen earn it.
Yep.
Earn their billing. 2nd down and 5 at the 39. Leffler turns the hands to Hansen. Breaks out of a tackle, but there's too many white shirts to get around. He somehow fought his way back to the line of scrimmage. I don't know how. He's still going forward. They never blew it dead, and they gave him a positive gain.
Wow.
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 I cannot believe they let that play go on that long.
I can't either. Patrick Meek did a really nice job. The first guy that hit him, Patrick Meek, came in kind of a pulling motion and took that guy out, which allowed Hansen to kind of, after his spin, get out of that and kind of keep the motion going. But, yeah, I don't know why they didn't blow the whistle.
2-yard gain, 3rd down and 3 at the 37. 3rd down and 3 at the 37. Leffler on the keep. Behind his line, still on his feet, and a flag flies in. And that will be backed up.
Man, that line did a great job right up front on that right side, just right of the center there. They had some intricate blocking pattern where they were crossing, the guys to the right were going to the left, the guys to the left were going to the right to split open, and then they read that perfect right in that seam. But then right at the last minute, they got a penalty. And I'm not, it's too many bodies down there to know who that was on that hold. But everything looked good up to a point until that yellow flag came out.
10-yard spot foul. So 3rd and 3 turns into 3rd and 14.
Yeah.
It's 3rd down.
Ball resting on the 48. Line to gains the 34. Inside 10 minutes to go. Tie game 21-21. Leffler stands in the pocket. Has time. Steps up, throws. Has a man caught. In and out of the hands of Kyle Lockard. Passes a little bit behind him. And that sends the punt team out. The defenses have locked up here in this second half. Each team with only a touchdown in this second half. Levi Whistler coming on to punt it away to try and pin the Trojans deep. Center Grove is pulled away from Cathedral. Actually, it's gone final, 21-6, Center Grove, the final score. Whistler gets it away. It's a twister that Ashton watches bounce. And the Royals, did they keep it out of the end zone? They did. No, yes, they did. They downed at the 1 yard line. Oh, my. Well, let's see now. The officials are huddling up. Are they going to put the ball down at the 1? It looks like they're going to. What a play by the Royals.
Yeah, Zach Arman, it looked like, was the one that actually kind of tipped it backwards to keep it from going in the end zone. He has to do that before he goes in the end zone or breaks that plane. So, fantastic play by him.
So the Trojans began this possession at their own 1 yard line. Tie game at 21, 9:30 to go. Trojans are huddled up in front of their bench. The play clock is running. They'll go straight to the formation. Cole Burton, the quarterback, is in shotgun in the end zone on 1st and 10. Stands in, throws the deep ball.
Going for it.
And it's well overthrown by 5 yards. Ryan Brotherton, the intended receiver, out to the 40. That ball was 5 yards overthrown. Brotherton, number 20, the intended receiver, 2nd down and 10. Second down and 10. Now East Central waiting for Burton to jog to the sideline to get the play call.
It's kind of a statement for Roncalli to put their hats on. I mean, the East Central's down here. This would be normally a place where they put all their linemen in there, just pound it up the middle to get some space up front. And instead, they're going 3 wide and 4, the spread formation because they can't get any yards.
And give to Omer. He barely got out of the end zone. Out to maybe the 1 or the 2. That's Trey Omer, the carry, number 3. And he did get out to the 2 for a gain of 1. So 3rd down and 9. Or they gave him 2 out to the 3.
It's 3rd down and 8.
3rd down and 8 at the East Central 3. Inside 9 minutes to go in a tie game. Big stop here for the Roncalli defense. Burton looking left, throwing that way, and it is broken up by Gabe Horn. He saw it all the way, broke it up at the 35, intended for Ryan Brotherton, and the Royals get the stop. Now the Trojans will punt from the back edge of the end zone.
That was a great play by Horn. He came from the outside. He was on the outside of the receiver, came underneath it, and went up and tipped it away right at the last minute. And I mean, their receiver, Brotherton, thought for sure he had a catch. You could see the way he was almost shocked when the ball didn't get it into his hands. But fantastic defensive play.
Samuel Ringer has his heels on the back edge of the end zone. Not a lot of room.
Ooh,
high snap.
Ooh.
And Ringer gets away a low kick. Hegwood's got time to return this.
Yeah,
Takes it to 45. Hegwood accelerating, and he's tossed down at the 41. Nice solo tackle by Adam Rosemeyer. But the Royals have good field position here, taking over at their own 41 with 8:33 to go and a tie score. First and 10 Royals at the 41. Royals have had the field position tilted in their favor for the last 2 possessions. Let's see if they can capitalize here and regain the lead. 3 receivers to the left for Loeffler. Kyle Lockard, the short side right. Miss continuing to fall here. Loeffler stands in. Now he takes off. And he's able to vault his way inside the 40 down to the 38. Give him 3 on the carry. Second down and 7. Second down and 7. Royals will send Patrick Meek on for an extra offensive lineman.
He's a big dude.
He is indeed. Second down and 7 at the 38. Leffler on the keep. Just surging ahead behind that line. Bulldozes his way down to the 35. That sets up 3rd and 4. Ryan Bovard in on the stop. 3rd down and 4 at the 35. The line to gain is the 31. Two receivers both to the left of Leffler. That's Gore in the slot. Armin split wide left. Now Leffler wants Hansen on his right. Behind him in the pistol. Leffler rolls. Has Gallagher in the flat. Screen pass caught. First down. Nice. Gallagher makes a man move and makes his way down inside the 30. Nice play and a first down catch by Michael Gallagher.
That's a real nice setup. When you got that jumbo package to the right, it forces the defense to play to their strong, which is their left side. Then you roll around, you put your back to that right side. Again, gives all the indications you're running right, and then you just did that little flare pass to the left to easy pitch and catch, get that first down.
Pickup of 8 on the flip and catch from Leffler to Gallagher. 1st and 10 at the 27. Tie score 21. Give to Hansen. He cuts. Still on his feet. Stays outside the 20. And he's knocked down at the 18. Luke Hansen, a nice first down run. Inside 6:45 to go. Adam Rosemeyer on the stop. But the Roncalli offensive line starting to get some push here, Dan.
Yes, they are. They're looking good.
Gain of 8, 2nd and 2 at the 19. 6.5 minutes left. Rain starting to pick up here. Leffler sends Gore in motion left to right. Keeps it himself on 2nd and 10. He's inside the 15. He's got enough to move the chains. Down to the 14. Pick up a 5 and a first down.
And same thing there, Rob. That line just kind of down blocked everybody, pushed them all down. He just kind of slowly followed that line as they set up that outside running lane, and he just he didn't get hit till he was past the first down marker.
1st and 10, Royals at the 14. Halfway through the final quarter and a tie score 21-21.
Whoa, got everybody jumping.
Leffler had the whole defensive line jump, but nobody came in the neutral zone. Still time on the play clock of 10. Leffler takes the snap, turns hands to Hansen. He spins out of contact. Spin. He's down near the 5. Shy of the 5. They call him down at the 9, but he's got a good first down run. Might be the 8 even. Yeah, they put him at the 8. So that's a pickup of 6. 2nd down and 4 at the 8. And the Royals are just pushing off the line with behind the 6 offensive linemen and Michael Gallagher as the H-back, who essentially is the 7th offensive lineman. Caden Gore goes in motion. Leffler on the keep. Looks for a hole. Push from behind. He's able to fall forward near the 5. It's going to be very close to the line to gain. I think they spotted him short. It's going to be 3rd and 1. He needed the 4. They gave him the 5. So 3rd down and 1 at the 5. Royals just pushing ahead. Inside 5 minutes to go. Tie game. Leffler wants to sneak, and he pushes forward, dives on top of the pile. That's enough to move the chains.
Yep.
1st and goal. They may have even given him the 3-yard line. They did indeed give him the 3. So gain of 2. Gain of 2. 1st and goal at the 3 for the Royals. 4:40 to go. Tie game. Leffler high snap. Gives to Hansen, and he'll walk it in. Left side touchdown.
Open. Wide open.
Luke Hansen, his 2nd touchdown of the night, and the Royals are back on top with 4:34 to go. 2nd touchdown of the night for the junior Luke Hansen, this one from 3 yards out. And Roncalli's back on top with 4:34 left.
Same thing. We talked about how they would get the defense heading towards the right side to cover the power side. And then Scartweet, he just blocked down on his man. There was no outside linebackers on the other side because they're trying to fill up the backside.
Good snap, and Luke Russell knocks it right down the middle for his 4th PAT of the night. So 4:34 to go. Royals take advantage of the good field position and score to regain the lead, 28-21, but 4:34 left. We'll step out, take a 30-second break, and come right back. It's Roncalli football on the Roncalli Media Network.
You're good at keeping the car clean. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
Well, the Royals go 9 plays, 41 yards, capped by Luke Hansen's touchdown run. Back on top, 28-21. Hansen has 135 yards on 20. A career high 28 carries. Luke Russell on to kick it away. The very dangerous Eli Ashton is deep. It's a sidewinding kick that Ashton takes at the 5. Ashton accelerates, and he's absolutely leveled by Joey Milto at the 26-yard line. Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
Joey Milto says hello.
Wow.
My, oh, my. And he
wow.
You can tell, Dan, when a kick returner is good because you can see them accelerate.
Yes.
And Ashton was he had put his foot on the pedal.
He saw
and
green
was pushing
space.
it down.
Yes.
And he came to an abrupt stop.
Oh, man.
Oh, my goodness. 1st and 10, Trojans, trailing by 7. 4:28 to go at the 26-yard line. Now it's on the Roncalli defense. Delayed give to Brotherton. Trying to cut outside, and the Royals have him hemmed in. Great one-on-one tackle by Daniel O'Connor out on the wide side. Brotherton's able to get down to the 28, but he is down and needs some attention from the training staff. They did give Brotherton 2 yards on the play, I believe. They've not spotted the football yet.
He's on his knees trying to get up, but I tell you what, it's such a great play by O'Connor because he was actually a step or two behind the play. As it cut out, he was behind it and did a great job of accelerating to reach up and grab him with his hands to be able to pull him back and then bring him down. So just a fantastic effort by O'Connor to get his hands on him in the first place and then be strong enough to wrangle him down like that. It's fantastic.
So Brotherton is on his feet and is able to walk himself to the sideline. Picked up 2 on the play out to the 28 rather. 2nd down and 8. 2nd down and 8. Roncalli leads 28-21. 4:17 to go. Down to the 46 of Roncalli. 2nd down and 6. Brady New on the stop. 2nd down and 6. Clock rolling. Inside 3.5 minutes to go. Roncalli crowd wanting one more defensive stop here. Royals lead by 7. 2nd down and 6. Ashton in motion. Burton fakes the handoff. Pocket collapses. Screen pass to Omer. He's got a little bit of room to run the side. Tyson Garrett, though, wrestles him out of bounds at the 41. He's a yard short of the line to gain, so it's 3rd down and 1. 3rd down and 1. Pick up a 5 on that play.
Garrett showed some great closing speed to get from the middle of the field all the way to the sideline to make that play to stop him from getting the 1st down, because it did not look good until he got there.
3rd down and 1 at the 41. Burton fakes. Pocket collapses. Steps up. And he's going to be sacked.
Sack, yes.
Lucas Erickson got him back at the 45-yard line. What a time for Roncalli's first sack of the night. And the senior Lucas Erickson delivers the sack. What a play. Loss of 3 on the play. 4th down and 4 here.
And I think it was Curd that got in there early to force him to step up, which then allowed Lucas to get that and finish him off. It's a good effort on all of the defensive line to get up and pressure him.
East Central needs at least 4 yards to extend this possession. 4th and 4 at the Roncalli 44. 2:10 to go. Burton rolls. Pocket collapses. Throwing the flat. Caught. And he's short of the line to gain. He went down on a knee to catch it at the 41. He's short. And the Royals defense gets a stop.
Wow.
Nate Biesing went low to get it. And when he did, at the 41, he downed himself. A yard shy. So the Trojans pick up 3 on the play. They needed 4. So the Royal defense gets a stop. Now the offense gets it back. Still 2:12 to go. East Central has all 3 timeouts. So this game is not over by a long stretch.
No, but him dropping on his
that's huge.
short of the first down marker helps.
Wow. And the pressure the Roncalli front 7 got on him, Burton, the last 2 plays there, changed the tenor of those 2 plays.
It did.
Now the Royals need to run the clock out. 2:12 to go, 1st and 10 at the Roncalli 41. Loeffler keeps it himself, around left end, and he's tripped up. Flag flies in very late. Right in front of the East Central sideline. Steady mist continues to fall here at the stadium. I don't believe East Central has been whistled for a penalty tonight. They maybe have 1. They have 2. Waiting for the indication here. The penalty is on Roncalli. Dean and Liz Beard listening tonight at their condo down in Orange Beach. Is that a hold?
It was a holding call basically up where the play finished or close to where it finished, because they marked it off from about the 48-yard line.
And East Central wants time. So East Central calls time. So a penalty makes it 1st and 14. East Central calls time. We've got some breaks to get to. So let's go ahead and take a 30-second break now. 2:06 to go. Roncalli with the ball in a 7-point lead. When we return in 30 seconds on the Roncalli Media Network. Well, the holding penalty on the Royals just before we went to break backs them up. So now we've got 1st down and 14 for Roncalli at the Royal 37. 2:06 to go. East Central did use 1 of its 3 allotted timeouts. Loeffler sends Gore in motion. On the keeper. Angling toward the middle of the field, ducks out of 1 tackle and takes it out across the 45. Trojans call time. Trojans call time. Their 2nd timeout. We've got 1 more break to get to. So let's go ahead and take that break now. Take our final break here before the end of the game. 1:59 to go. Royals lead by 7 on the Roncalli Media Network. Rob Brown, Dan Bauer back with you alongside our statistician Matt Donovan. Great crew with us tonight. Stephen Ranazizzi and Luke Jones handling things at our CBS Sports 1430 studios. Justin Brown, our video director tonight. Hannah Taylor handling the graphics. Jonathan Ginn-Daffron and Stefan Welsh on the cameras tonight. 2nd down and 5 for the Royals. 1:59 to go. Ball at the 46 of Roncalli. East Central crowds the line. Leffler takes the snap, waits for a hole behind his line. He's still on his feet. He's inside the 50, and he's got a first down. Boy, Trevor Lauk drove one of their linebackers, Dan, down to the 35-yard line.
He did. And Hansen was out there blocking the safety back there, putting him on the ground too. So
that's a first down. East Central has called its final timeout. So the Trojans call their final timeout. We'll go ahead and stay here. We've used our breaks for this second half.
I'll tell you what, man, one thing I wanted to comment on the play before that when Aiden Leffler made a really nice run, just kind of kept the ball running. It was a clear quarterback keeper. When he got done with the run, got, about 10 yards, 12 yards back or whatever, he got up. There was about 3 East Central guys came over and, tapped him on the helmet, and he's talking to him. You can tell and I've said this before in other games, you can tell he's just a good guy, that everyone likes him. Even when he's running over them, they stand up and they tell him great play. And, I mean, it just says the world for what kind of person Aiden Leffler is, in addition to being a great football player.
You can tell that he's an opponent that generates respect, but he's also an opponent that gives respect.
Yes,
we've seen
agreed.
him do that with opponents who have made a play.
Yep.
That he taps them on the head. Tonight's game brought to us by Beck Service Center. Schedule your auto repair appointment today. It's time you put your vehicle on a maintenance service plan. Beck Service Center wants to keep your Indianapolis drivers on the highway and on schedule for every appointment. Give them a call today at 317-793-3677. Rachel Parker, one of the girls' basketball assistant coaches here at Roncalli, checking in tonight during her layover at O'Hare. Girls' basketball team starts practice on Monday. Can't wait for that. First broadcast in mid-November. 1st and 10. East Central out of timeouts to give to Hansen. Stutter stepping his way up the middle of the field, up the right hash, down to the 42.
Grant Ray finished the block, and all the crowd saw it.
Yeah.
So they're
they
all
did.
over it.
Gain of 5 for Hansen. East Central cannot stop the clock. 28-21 the score. All that's left for Roncalli is to hang onto the football and run the clock out. Leffler has no intention of snapping the football before this play clock gets down inside 5. Now it's at 5. Leffler gets everyone organized. Takes the snap, gives to Hansen. Hansen accelerates, he's loose! Luke Hansen is loose and he's gone! And that will put it in the cooler. Luke Hansen from 42 yards out.
Roncalli's got a big lineman down.
That's Luke Scartweet who's down.
Scartweet?
Yep. Did not see what happened to Scartweet away from the play. So Scartweet is down. He is on his back at the 32-yard line. So Hansen got free and scored from 42 yards out. I believe that was the yardage on that touchdown run by Hansen.
And they're not investigating his knees or his legs or anything, so I'm not. He is sitting up now.
Well, he's got the full attention. The head coach, John Rodenberg, is out, along with both Roncalli and a couple members of the East Central medical staff are out there as well. 5 plays, 59 yards, 215. his right hand as he's walking off with Megan Pakala, one of the Roncalli athletic trainers, carrying Luke's helmet as well.
The good news for offensive linemen is they don't need fingers. So if it's just a finger, they can tape that up and he'll be playing the next series. That comes from a lineman.
So 34-21 is our score.
It hurts, but you can still play.
57 seconds to go. Luke Russell is on for the PAT. And it's right down the chute. So Roncalli scoring 2 touchdowns here in this fourth quarter, both from the legs of Luke Hansen. And now all that's left to do is run out the final 57 seconds of this one. Did not see where Scartweet went, if he went straight to the locker room or not see him down on the sideline.
We don't have it. Oh, he's under the tent here, I bet.
Oh, yeah. There is a, they do have a medical tent down below us that they've put the walls around, just like you see on television. Did see Roncalli's team physician, Joel Carey, walking in there as well. So all that's left to do is settle up the final 57 seconds, and the Royals are going to complete just their 6th undefeated regular season in 53 years of football. Hansen, a career-high 32 attempts and 182 yards tonight.
Wow.
Luke Hansen, the junior.
That's big.
3 of Roncalli's 5 touchdowns. Luke Russell on to kick it away. Eli Ashton is deep. I don't think you want anything to do with him. And Roncalli wisely squibs it, taken at the 17 by number 21. He's got the wide side, trying to angle out. Now he retreats, trying to turn it upfield, and he's tackled out across the 25 to 26. That's Jack Rainier. Actually, that's number 17, Preston Day, on the return. I believe that was 17, right? Did I see that correctly?
I honestly don't know.
So 1st and 10 at the 27 of East Central. Crowd below us chanting, "Thank you, seniors." Royals do need to win the opening sectional game at Western to get back here. They would be guaranteed a home game in the sectional semifinal with a win over Western. 1st and 10 at the 27. Burton drops straight back, lobs it down toward the middle of the field, and it is broken up, intended for Ashton at the 40. Connor Mann knocked it away. Royals in a prevent at this point with 41 seconds to go and a 2-touchdown lead. And you just never know, Dan. These two teams could play again.
They could, for sure.
They've got to navigate some pretty stiff opponents in the meantime. Certainly, East Central in the same sectional as top 10 Mooresville. That's a collision course in round 2 in that sectional. Burton throws again, trying the sideline, and it is almost picked off by Hegwood in and out of his hands. He was the closest man to it. Nearest receiver was Samuel Ringer, number 29.
Well, and then after Mooresville, they'd have to get by Jasper, who's 8-0, at least.
Jasper or
Evansville Memorial.
Evansville Memorial.
Right.
One of those two teams is likely going to win that sectional.
Yep.
And that's a second-round matchup, potentially.
Yep.
And that's a finals matchup. They would play in the final much like Roncalli and Chittard would.
Of course, Jasper has to play Northview. Is 6-1. I don't think they'll have a problem with that, but still a good record.
Northview will give them a fight, I think.
Yeah.
3rd and 10 here. 35 seconds to go. They give to Omer. Gets out across the 30. He's still on his feet. He's got a first down across the 38. Give him 11 on the play. First down by Omer. Clock stops temporarily to reset the chains. Burton takes the snap, low snap, down to get it. Flushed in the pocket by Will Morse. Looking downfield, throws, and he throws short hops. The intended receiver, Eli Ashton. Make that number 11. Number 11, Cole Wheat, was the intended receiver there. There's been a lot of chatter after the play by both teams here in this fourth quarter. You just want to get this last 14 seconds clear without anybody getting hurt and let the chirping come to an end. 2nd down and 10. Give to Omer again. Stop and go move. Tries the right side. He's stacked up to the 41. Call it the 42. It's a gain of 4, and that will be the final play of the game. And that'll do it. So on senior night here at the stadium, Roncalli makes the plays that count in the fourth quarter. And behind the legs of Luke Hansen and a stout fourth quarter defense, the Royals defeat one of their toughest opponents yet of the season, East Central, and in the process put up just the 6th undefeated regular season in 53 years of Roncalli football. Our final here at the stadium, Roncalli's Royals 35 and the Trojans of East Central 21. Stay tuned. We'll step out for a couple minutes. When we come back, we'll have all the particulars on tonight's Steve's Flowers and Gifts postgame show. That's right around the corner. Coming up next on the Roncalli Media Network.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
We're so thrilled to have Peyton Manning's name on our children's hospital. But we are a hospital designed for kids.
And then the halfback went in motion and then ran a slant route across the middle. Try to get a linebacker isolated on him. I like this beat. It's nice. Give me some more bass. A little more bass here. These are nice. Wish they had them at the adult hospital next door. They have to make this giraffe green.
That's crazy.
Might be right. Let's go red right, scat right, 585, wide drag. On two. Ready? Break. Nice ride. Y'all have these in blue? Can you hear this?
There's only one Peyton Manning Children's Hospital, offering world-class compassionate care for your child. Schedule primary ER or specialist care online.
Thanks, Peyton. We've got this.
Oh, okay. That's where they go.
Now, Rob Brown and Dan Bauer are back at the stadium as Roncalli on senior night completes an undefeated regular season, defeating East Central by the score of 35-21. Let's take a look at how the game unfolded. 14-14 was our halftime score. East Central capitalizing on a rare Roncalli turnover. Aiden Leffler threw just his 5th interception of the season on the first drive of the night. East Central turned that into a 5-yard touchdown run by Samuel Ringer, led 7-0. That marked the first time all year the Royals trailed by more than 3 points. Roncalli answered with a touchdown pass. Aiden Leffler, his only touchdown pass of the night on a gadget play that we've not seen all year. Caden Gore lined up as the quarterback, lateral back to Leffler, who was lined up at wideout. Leffler then found Kyle Lockard on a 42-yard touchdown catch. That made it 7-7. East Central answered with a 4-yard Samuel Ringer run, cap off a drive. Trojans back on top 14-7. Then Roncalli on his first possession that bridged the end of the first, start of the second quarter. Aiden Leffler capped it with a 3-yard touchdown run. That tied it at 14. That's where we went into the second half. The defense tightened up in both teams. Defenses tightened up in the second half. Each team managed a single touchdown in the third quarter. Roncalli scoring first, and that was the key, that Roncalli scored first, and it was East Central having to return serve. Luke Hansen scored from 3 yards out, putting Roncalli up 21-14. On the subsequent possession, East Central on 3rd and long hit a big play. Cole Burton found Eli Ashton for 77 yards and a touchdown. That tied the game at 21. But then in the 4th, it was Roncalli's defense that answered the bell. After Royals got the ball, tie game, 21-21, 8:33 to go. But the defense and a great special teams play, Dan, that downed a punt at the 1 yard line. We think it was Zach Arman that downed it.
Yep.
East Central had a short field, went 3 and out. That gave Roncalli, or I should say, backed up, gave Roncalli a short field. Royals capitalized on that 41-yard drive, 9 plays. Luke Hansen scored from 3 yards out. That put Roncalli up for good, 28-21. The Royals defense, though, still needed to make a stop.
Yep.
And East Central got across midfield near the Roncalli 40. And it was a key 3rd down and 2. And Luke Erickson sacked the quarterback, Cole Burton. That turned 3rd and 2 into 4th and 5. Or 4th and 6, rather. And it was a 5-yard pass. And the receiver caught the ball with a knee down, 1 yard shy of the line to gain, and then the Royals took it in from there. Luke Hansen then got a tack-on touchdown when the Royals were committing, or the Trojans were committing everything inside the tackles to stop the run. He got outside and took it in from 42.
Yeah, it was a fantastic job by the defense. Defense really won that game ultimately. Although I will say that, and there was a play in there where Roncalli was hard counting, and all 4 guys looked like they jumped off sides. Now, it was down where we couldn't see the straight-on angle, but you could hear the crowd. They were really angry. How can you not call that offsides? What that tells you is that the defensive line has backed up. So when they take that false start, they still haven't crossed into the neutral zone. The reason they do that, and I talked about them doing slanting all night long and bringing the extra guy, they're doing that because they're backing up off the line of scrimmage. This is an indicator that people are watching films, like I had talked about last week with Elder. They're backing their linemen up. They're moving, because what they're trying to do is to get into the gaps. And so by stepping back, generally if you're nose to nose with the offensive line, you're ready to go to battle head to head. The defenses don't want to go head to head against the size of Roncalli, so they're backing the defensive linemen off, then putting them into motion. They didn't do a lot of twisting like they saw last week with Elder. They did mostly slants. But again, that's the indicator that they're doing that. It takes Roncalli a little bit to see what the other team's going to do against it defensively to try to stop their offensive line. It took a quarter or a half and a half of football for them, really a half and a quarter, for Roncalli to figure out how to block that. Then you see Hansen going off on yards and getting 3 of the last 3 touchdowns for Roncalli, all rushing attacks. Roncalli's offensive line figuring it out, the coaches figuring it out, giving them the advantage, that allows them to have the field possession difference. Because even when Roncalli got stopped and had to punt, as you said, Rob, they punted it and they put it down to 1 yard line. That swings, even though you don't get a score there, it swings the momentum of the game and puts East Central in our backs to the wall. They get 3 plays, they have to punt it, and now you're in a position to score the next series there. So, again, it's, you probably get tired of hearing us talk about how good the offensive line is, but it's also the coaching to get them to figure out what the other team's doing and how to combat what they're doing to try to gain an advantage. So it's a great football. I mean, this is another great football game that Roncalli should hold their heads up high. But again, a second week in a row where you look at the scoreboard and you think, oh yeah, Roncalli won by 2 touchdowns again. The game was closer than that.
Absolutely.
And but
identical
again,
scores, 35-21, same as last week.
Yes.
2 quality opponents the Royals have put in the rearview mirror, and as a result, they'll head into the playoffs next week at 9-0, just the 6th time in 53 years an undefeated regular season is in the books for the Roncalli Royals. We'll take our first and only break here in the Seas, Flowers, and Gifts post-game show. When we come back, we will hand out our player of the game. Dan and I may argue about that during the break. We'll also look at some other stats. We'll talk about Western, next week's opponent, first ever meeting between those 2 programs. That comes next week. We'll talk about all that when we return in 60 seconds on the Roncalli Media Network.
Every day we go farther, try harder, and do things others think are impossible. But for people who are passionate about what they do, it's normal. At Ortho Indy, we make sure of it. As the largest sports medicine group in Indiana and the official orthopedic provider for the Pacers, our specialists work to treat your injury from diagnosis to recovery and get you back in the game, because you were built to perform. Ortho Indy Sports Medicine, helping you get normal back, whatever your normal looks like.
Rob Brown, Dan Bauer back for the final time on the Steve's Flowers and Gifts postgame show. Royals defeat East Central tonight by the score of 35-21. Let's take a look at some stats tonight. Roncalli, again, a pretty even number, although it was even at halftime. It's stilted, rush heavy, and certainly the Royals favored the rush in that second half, especially in the fourth quarter. But the Royals cracked 400 yards again of total offense after being outgained last week.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the first time the Royals had been outgained since the Lafayette-Harrison game in week 6 last year.
All passing last week. They threw it everywhere.
The final yardage totals, the Royals 287 rush yards, 163 pass yards for a total of 450. East Central finished with 323. 126 rushing and 197 passing. Looking at some of the individual numbers, Luke Hansen, 30 carries, 182 yards, both career highs. We'll talk about those more in a moment, as Luke had also 3 touchdowns, 3 of Roncalli's 5 touchdowns. Aiden Leffler finished with 20 carries for just the 8th time in his career that he stopped the 20-carry mark, and he was just 8 yards shy of 100. Most of those came in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Lockhart had 5 catches for 73 yards, and his touchdown catch, which is Roncalli's initial touchdown of the night, that put him in the record books for the 11th touchdown catch of the season. That's a new single-season touchdown record, and he'll go into the game at Western next week just 20 yards shy of the single-season yardage receiving yardage record held by another guy from the 70s, Jeff Jordan, back in 1978. So the number, though, that jumps out on the stat sheet, Dan, was a number that Matt Donovan shared with us during the break, and that's Roncalli's defense allowed just 3 first downs in the second half, and one of those was on the final drive in the final minute when the game had been decided.
It's impressive. Very impressive. I mean, and you don't want to compare it to last year, but you think back to last year, what really allowed Roncalli to get on a roll was the defense figured it out as they were heading into the playoffs and really shut down offenses. And if Roncalli can come in and hold every team they play to 3 first downs, they're going to win a lot of football games.
Yes, they are.
So it's a sign that the defense is clicking in the positive direction where they want to be heading into the playoffs.
So Luke Hansen, though, with the 30 carries and 182 yards, both career highs, he is tonight's Ortho Indy star of the game. Ortho Indy is one of the most highly respected orthopedic practices in the Midwest, providing leading-edge bone, joint, spine, and muscle care from multiple locations throughout central Indiana while staying true to their mission and their patients. Call them at 317-802-2000. So East Central, Trojans will head back to the southeast corner of the state and get ready for sectional play. Certainly a tall order for them with 7th-ranked Mooresville in their sectional, the team that has ended East Central's season each of the last 2 years, each by 1 possession, each game at Mooresville, each of the last the 2 meetings.
Okay.
But first things first, East Central 7-2 after the loss tonight. They'll host Greenwood next week, a game that they would be heavily favored next Friday night in the sectional opener. Meanwhile, Roncalli now 9-0. We mentioned at the top of the postgame show, just the 6th time in 53 seasons the Royals have had an undefeated regular season. They will take that 9-0 record up to Howard County to Western, which is in Rushville. It's spelled Rushville, but I've been told it's pronounced Rushville.
I've heard that too.
I am not local, so I'm relying on intel.
You're getting good intel.
Rushville, southwest of Kokomo.
And I only know that because they have a fantastic band, actually. And my nephew was in the band at Beech Grove, and they were also always kind of ran up against Rushville, and fantastic band. So I'm looking forward to at least a good drum corps, or if nothing else, next weekend to see and hear their band playing, because they're really good. And because we matched up with them in band, I do know that is the correct pronunciation.
It will be the first ever meeting between Roncalli and Western, and the Panthers of Western, who they lost tonight to West Lafayette. It's the second time this season they've lost to West Lafayette. They have an interesting conference setup. I think they're in the Hoosier Conference.
Mm-hmm.
It's an interesting setup. There's two divisions, and they leave the Week 9 opponent open, and you end up playing the team that is the same position in the standings as you in the opposite division.
Is that why they play? Okay, I didn't know that.
So they lost to West Lafayette during the regular season.
Yes.
And then they were matched up with West Lafayette again tonight and lost 44-0. So 2 of their 3 losses are to West Lafayette, who's one of the top 5 teams in the state in 3A.
Yes. And they lost 69-19 in the first one. So it's a closer. They're getting closer, I guess.
And I believe their other loss was to Zionsville. Am I correct? Was it Zionsville? Who else was it? Kokomo.
Kokomo. They lost Kokomo the first game.
That's a rivalry game.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so that'll be a situation next week. 6:30 the pregame, 7 o'clock the kick for that game at Western. It'll be a radio-only game, so you can listen on CBS Sports 1430 or on RoncalliMediaNetwork.com. What else can you tell me about Western?
Well, they're a team that they come in. They've only passed 59 times, 19 receptions total for 327 yards for the season, not counting tonight's game. I'm assuming they didn't add a lot of passes in.
Yes.
They come in rushing at 379 yards for almost 2,500 yards. So they depend heavily on the rushing attack. It's not a lot of fakes to the run or play action stuff. They're going to line up and try to run it. It'll be interesting to see, and again, how much did East Central change tonight because of what they were facing and doing more spread stuff? And so, would Western come in and try to adjust that in a week? It's tough to try to put in a bunch of wrinkles that your team's not capable of doing. So, I would think that they would come in and rush the ball again, even though, after you watch the film tonight and see that, East Central, did a good job rushing, but they kind of really had more damage done through the air. It would kind of make you wonder if you shouldn't try to do the same thing. But, again, without doing that the rest of the games, the 9 games before that, it makes it tough. So, stick with what you can do and hope for the best.
Well, again, we'll have that game for you next week from Western High School in Howard County. 6 o'clock, 6:30 the pregame show, 7 o'clock the kick. And you can listen on CBS Sports 1430 or on RoncalliMediaNetwork.com. No video for that one next week. If Western does have a video feed, we'll pass that information along via the appropriate Roncalli social media channels. Just know that typically, I shouldn't say typically, with any video scenario that you encounter in the postseason, you're looking at a pay-per-view scenario. So now looking ahead, the winner of the Roncalli Western game will get the winner of Beech Grove at Lebanon. And regardless of the winner of that game, Roncalli would be guaranteed a home game based on position in the bracket. The Royals are in the bottom of that 8-team bracket. Let's finish that out for you. The top half of the bracket has Bishop Chatard at Frankfort and then Crispus Attucks at Shortridge. So regardless of the outcome of the Lebanon Beech Grove game, and you would assume, given records and where that game is being played, that Lebanon would be a slight favorite in that matchup. But regardless, Roncalli, if with a win at Western, would then play here at the stadium in the sectional semifinal 2 weeks from tonight.
And Lebanon's team, they lost their first 3 games of the year and then have gone on a winning streak since then. I don't know what they did tonight, but, if you who'd they play? Western Boone tonight. Western Boone hasn't had a great season. So if Lebanon wins that, they have won 6 games in a row and obviously are on a streak. So you hate to count out any kind of team that is on a streak like that. But you would expect, Lebanon to be that team, the Roncalli. And Roncalli has a history with Lebanon. So it makes things interesting.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed tonight's game as much as we've enjoyed bringing it to you. Tonight's game has been a production of the Roncalli Media Network. The executive producer is Stefan Welsh. Our sales manager is Aaron Hummel. On the video side tonight, our directors Justin Brown, Hannah Taylor handled our graphics. Jonathan Daffron and Stefan Welsh handled the cameras. Stephen Ranzizzi and Luke Jones handled the audio side. Our CBS Sports 1430 in-studio producers. For our statistician, Matt Donovan, and my partner, Dan Bauer, I'm Rob Brown. Again, our final tonight from the stadium. The Royals of Roncalli complete a perfect 9-0 regular season with a 35-21 win over East Central. Tune in with us next Friday night when we've got sectional round 1 at Western. Hope you can join us at 6:30 next Friday night. Hope you can also join us tomorrow night when Roncalli takes on either Perry Meridian or Ben Davis in the IHSA Champions Network via pay-per-view at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Pat Crosley and Heather Lazan on the call. Again, our final tonight from the stadium. Roncalli defeats East Central by the score of 35-21. Till we talk to you next time, on behalf of our entire Roncalli Media Network crew, it's been Rob Brown saying so long, everybody. Thank you, Luke. See you, dude. Take care.